Hi-ho, friends, and welcome back to this shorter episode, but the epilogue to the Immortal War. And we're going to start with a question for Kochiki. Kochiki. Hold on, let me find our conversation. Kochiki, everlasting lord of arcane knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
You have probably been actually, this year, would you have stayed at the Imperial Palace if you had been asked?
You're damn right. And I would make sure every single person in the Crane clan knows, especially my dad. I'm like, you could come stay in like one of the guest rooms, I guess. Like,
So, what is an average day like for Kochiki, and why have you been named by the people as Everlasting Lord of Arcane Knowledge?
well, so ever since I saw what some people might consider horrible deeds that went down from my homie, who reminds me much of Orochimaru and was straight up murdered, um, I became kind of obsessed with this magic thing. And then especially after I almost died, okay? I fully almost died on some magic nonsense. I fully soiled myself in front of everyone a few different times. It was rough, and I didn't want that to happen again. I think that over this time period, I think Kochiki has kind of realized, like, you know what, I'm supposed to be a diplomat, but I am just not a people person. So I think I'm gonna use the skills and the studying and all of like the my reading abilities um, to start learning some more about magic. I don't think that he really know. I don't think he like possesses the innate skill to actually cast any of it, but he's just like an encyclopedia of knowledge. Um, and
You
just
became a neckbeard?
yeah, he became a neckbeard, full on. He actually, yeah. And and he loves the idea of like the power that comes with it, and he also loves the idea that he is kind of in his mind in control of who gets access to it, which in
Well, I will say, you do
yeah.
have magic now, Kochiki.
Power
You do. You have the Earth Ring.
trip.
You have the power of the Earth.
Oh yeah, no, and I think the very first thing that he does is go like he would go back to the Crane clan for sure and show off to everyone and be like, oh papa, your favorite son is home. Like, guess who's an everlasting protector and lord? Like, me, bitches. Oh yeah, he's made sure like murals have been around him. If people didn't make them, then he'd magically create them. Um, this is his wet dream and everyone else's worst nightmare. Like, he
It
was the
makes
last
sense
person in
then.
the world that should have gotten this.
It makes sense then that the Shogun has kept you so close. Keep your friends close and your potential enemies closer.
Yes. He still super sucks up to the Shogun though, because he recognizes that like in half a second he could be fully murdered by this man. Um,
And something that will be important for all of you is you were there right after we left off. A couple days later, there would have been a meeting of the remaining Imperial families, other than the one that got purged.
wrecked.
And there was a vote based on all of these genealogical records of who would be the next emperor. And under the Shogun's diligence, a man was made emperor, and he sucks at his job.
Oh,
He is a weak-willed, spineless kind of person
So
that the
Kochiki.
Shogun... Kochiki has ambition. This
I'm
person
kidding.
doesn't.
assuming it's just because
This...
it's easier for the Shogun to control this guy.
Oh, that's something you would have noticed immediately, is this is someone that the Shogun has turned into basically a puppet.
The amount of respect that I'm getting for the Shogun grows more and more each day.
Like, you have been there for several political meetings, and it's always something where someone asks the emperor a question, And the shogun leans in and whispers an answer for the emperor to give.
My man, my guy. That's beautiful. I'm in full support of that. I think that's the greatest. I think that's the coolest. Kochiki's taking notes. He's like, one day, one day. In fact, I would be trying to get my own little apprentices so I could get a little taste of what that's like.
Oh, you definitely have an entourage of acolytes and underlings who work for you.
They get me so many whatever this world's whatever this time period's versions of
Bitches.
lattes would be. They're constantly running little errands for
You
me.
are constantly getting matcha.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, they'll get me one and they'll watch me pour it out on the ground so that I
Oh
can have
my
someone else get me
god.
another one.
You're the fucking worst.
Well, since you
This is
are
the life.
always studying to master more arcane knowledge and learn of magic, if not for your own use, then at least to have it in your back pocket for later,
Yes.
you've probably been spending a lot of time at the War Academy because
Mhm.
it has one of the largest libraries in the Empire, concerned with all sorts of things, and they do teach war magic there.
Yes.
But it's on one of those days, and you are deep in your studies in the library. It's probably getting later into the day. It's summer again. You know that the festival is just around the corner. It's almost been a year and maybe a couple weeks since you became the Everlasting Lord. And the door would slide open to the library. And when you turn around, it's the Shogun is there.
Ooh. Hello. Great day, isn't it? Amazing. I'm learning so much. Got so many lattes today. How are you doing? I'm feeling great. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of this in the beginning, I think we all know, but I've really warmed up to it. This is this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yes, and I'm sure that the entire Empire would agree, if only they knew how much matcha has been drained into the sewers.
If you know, it's important that they learn work ethic and you got to keep them busy. You can't it doesn't look good on me if I just have a bunch of a bunch of my workers sitting here twiddling their thumbs. They need to be doing something.
There's rumors of alligators in the sewers because the matcha has coagulated into large, thick, green objects.
No, there's oozes down there now. There's matcha oozes. You've heard of a black pudding. Well, how about a matcha pudding?
Oh,
But
Thank you very matcha.
the shogun just sighs at that and starts walking about the library, looking at the various scrolls, and is like, "The one who used to have the ring before you was something of a scholar himself. Far more diligent, far less boastful."
Hmm? What? Sorry, I was reading. I didn't I missed that. Anyways, how is your day? How
He just turns and looks at you as like, "It is proper decorum to listen when your betters are speaking to you."
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know what? I forgot. I'm not used to I'm still getting used to the my new position
As
the
as you
status
are
I now possess.
talking, as you are talking, he holds out a scroll to you and is like, "Take this.
Okay, 100%. Should I
Read
read it
it."
now? Okay.
Yes. And you open it up, and it is a schematic that someone has taken of an ironclad. It
Okay.
says, "These have been spotted off of our shores recently.
Mm,
We've fallen very far behind, both for our isolation and for the Civil War."
okay. Yeah. No, this is it's concerning, but I mean I feel like I could whip something up real quick. Maybe make some like stone golems. We could fight them. Um,
Our magics can only go so far. How would we protect how would we protect every shore if a fleet of these things were to come in?
don't we have like a water ring person? Can they like do some like tsunamis?
Tsunamis. Izumi is still the abbot of her monastery, and her duties to that are paramount.
Yes, Izumi, an old fling, old flame of mine. I remember those days.
Stone is supposed to be resolute. Stone is supposed to be unbending. You certainly bend the truth.
I didn't pick this ring, okay? It picked me. It knew what I was when it flew on my wrist. I don't know what I don't get it, but maybe it was time for a little change. Maybe it needed a stone that's a little more malleable. Maybe it was time that we had a little shifting of the even the tectonic plates. They shift a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like
And cause earthquakes when they do.
earthquakes. Maybe that's how we get rid of these iron golems. Throw them in the cracks.
Just shakes his head and is like, what I'm trying to say is that the Empire has fallen far behind the rest of the world, and that is a threat to us. Do you not agree?
I agree. I agree. I mean, I could start. Maybe I could use these acolytes of mine for more than just matcha. Perhaps I could train them in some war magics, and they can go and form some schools along the borders. I
Or you could study these technologies and we can use them ourselves.
do we have one? Do we have one? Have we captured one?
We
Can
know
we
that
look
they
at?
work on steam power.
Okay. Okay, that's a start.
We
And
know
now
that
I
the
pull out a
peoples
blank
of
scribe and start.
we know that the peoples beyond this land fight their wars now with cannons and guns that can fire repeatedly without needing to be reloaded.
Shit. I mean, oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. It's just like, okay, okay.
And you are well aware, as much as I, that there would be one thing that would stand between us and these new modern inventions to protect the Empire, and that is the samurai and their code of honor.
Mm, mm. Love those guys. They're my favorite. I've always loved them.
I'm
Anyway.
saying that for the good of the Empire, the days of the samurai are numbered.
Maybe we evolve them? Do we have these? I could learn how to make these guns that shoot without reloading. It can't be that complicated. My brother, maybe my brother could help me out. Ooh, could we shoot blades? Maybe we could shoot blades.
I am saying that when the time comes, some of the clans will not stand for this. Are you willing to be on my side when such a war begins?
Without question.
Good.
I have the best life I've ever had in my whole. Before you, I was a patsy and I sat in on stupid. I had to listen to villagers bitch about fucking villager things. Disgusting. I live in the palace now. This is amazing. Wherever you go, I go. Also, I don't know what happens if I get too far from you with this ring, and it's kind of scary to me.
My brothers and sisters and I traveled the
Mm.
whole of the Empire with our rings. The ring will not explode or something if that is your fear. You could go and live in the mountains. You could go as far as you wished. But I need you here. Because whether or not you deserve it, the people respect you as one of their eternal lords.
Yes. They do, and I will be here. There's no I would never leave. I might hide if things get hairy. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I won't physically leave the location.
Then get to studying, Lord of Arcane Knowledge.
It's so good. It's so good, right?
We'll see
Anyway,
if you are worthy of such a title.
definitely, definitely, I'll begin work right away. And if you could get like someone to capture one of these golem things, or give me one of them repeating guns, oh my god, it'd make things so much faster, so much quicker. Maybe one of my patsies.
I will leave you to it. And with that, the Shogun turns and begins to leave. And we're going to cut away, far away, into the mountains of the south, to a large, sprawling monastery built into the mountains. Zumi, how are you training your students right now?
So she's standing at the front, and the students all have a bow, and they're all at attention a certain way. And she says, to understand the elements is to become one with the elements. And she'll open up her hands, and when she does, there's like this double helix of water and fire. And then it kind of spins around because there's air. And maybe some rocks will come up and kind of come within it. And right in the center is a little bit of void. And as she expands her hands, you see these students sort of get excited because it's always fun to watch, you know. And um, and then she says, "Let's see here. You want to be balanced. You want to find your center." And she'll kind of explode her hands, and everything just kind of and dissipates into nothing. And she says, "But of course, we must start one at a time. So if you would please start working with water." And she'll spin her bow around and she'll say, "Feel the moisture in the air. Let it come to you and form a ball at the top of your bow and balance that ball." And, they're just like working with it and moving with it and ebbing and flowing. And the water flows with them. And she's just kind of walking through. And occasionally she'll see someone and like lift their elbow a little bit because it's just a little low, or she'll kind of like slide someone's foot because it slid out just a little too far, and she's just like happy with these people that are focusing and listening, and that's nice. And it's good, it's lovely, it's very gentle, it's very soothing. But we're also battle monks, so it's not always that way, but today it is a soothing day. So
Yes, and while you're doing this, you have other teachers and monks who are teaching their own classes in this wide open stone courtyard with hedgerows and patches of plants and nature to kind of separate each classroom. But we can see through one of them in a wide open area of sand. We can see Wedge is teaching some hand-to-hand skills with others as he has monks come approach him before he just ends up bear hugging them, picking them up and throwing them down to the ground. And it's like, you must find your center. You must find it in here. The gut is the center of everything. Feel your breath there. Feel it move to your arms. And then he just like monk punches like a board in half and is like, and then beat the crap out of the other guy.
love him.
And
That's
everyone
so
is just kind of like watching very carefully because he's covered in tattoos.
There's got to be one smart ass student that says, yeah, you're good at the center of all things.
There probably is someone who's like, I thought, I would think with all of this exercise, you'd be a little bit. And he goes, why would I want to be that? Size is strength. A big belly is a big worth on the battlefield.
I love him. I'm so happy he's here.
Biggs is
Let-
in his own teaching them swordplay.
Yeah.
A lot of dirty tricks and stuff like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. And then maybe as you're working with these students, you leave them to try this on their own again without your tutelage.
hmm
And another one of the monks of the order comes to you and is like, are you sure it was so wise of an idea to have these two teach?
Listen. There is potential in everyone. And sometimes there is potential in people that we might not have within ourselves. And they can provide something valuable, something that we might not be able to provide. And yes, their methods are unorthodox. However, if nothing else, it will teach these people to be more well rounded people as they go out into the world and do good. Hopefully, do good. We do our best.
Yes, of course. And they bow. And one of your younger students comes running up to you and is like, oh, Lady of Earthly Essence, oh, Lady of Earthly Essence, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And, like, it's one of those younger kids where when they talk, they get so excited that when they take in a breath, it's like, you know? And it's like, I was. And basically, the way they describe it is they're in a class where all they get taught is riddles and stories, and they're supposed to figure out what the point is. And they can't
Mhm.
figure out one, which is there was a woman who was burying someone in a graveyard.
Mhm.
And a wise monk came up to her and said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "Oh, a tiger has killed my son." And he looks and he sees other graves. And he says, "What are these?" He's like, "The same tiger has killed my husband and my father." The monk asks, "Why do you not leave?" She says, "In other places there are terrible warlords. I do not move there." And this kid is like, why don't they leave? Why would they stay if there's a tiger and it's going to eat them?
Well, this could be connected in so many ways. I think part of it is we fear the unknown, or we have an idea of something that might be worse, when really we might be dealing with something pretty bad right here. She must open her mind and accept that other things are not what they may seem. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
And this little kid sits there for a long time. And then there's like this aha moment. They're like, maybe the warlord is scarier than a tiger.
Yep, that is also a thing that could be a thing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, tigers are scary.
They can be, yeah.
Pat her on the
Maybe.
head. She just
Mm,
smiles.
yeah, you're very sweet. Listen, maybe take the rest of the day and go and make some daisy chains with your friends.
And she bows to you and then does like start running off in that very excited little kid way.
I love her. Okay. I love them
And it's
all. I love everybody.
that's where there's a like someone clapping, and you turn around and finishing shifting from Tengu to person with all of these other monks being like, whoa, 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 is Sasha Hira.
Oh, hi.
And she nods her head to you and she's like, "Everlasting lady, might I
Oh,
speak with
hi.
you? Or are you busy with your students?"
I can always make time for you. How are you?
"Not here." And she motions for you to follow her.
Okay. And I will.
And once you two are out of earshot, she's like, under business of my father, the Shogun.
Mhm.
How are things going in your monastery?
I think things are going pretty well. Um, we've had our hiccups, of course, and it's been a bit of a challenge. Really taking the leadership role here, but now that we're here and we've done it for a while, I can feel the ebb and the flow of the universe, and it's nice. And it seems like everybody seems to be doing well. Why do you ask?
Oh, one sec. My boba is here.
I'm so jealous.
And she probably, is considering what you're saying. And it's like, the Shogun is worried of what is to come for the future of the Empire. To think that a year ago, everything seemed to make so much more sense.
Yes. But I feel like that is the thing with time. Like, we think we understand it. We think we understand the circumstances that we're in. And then it just turns it on its head. And we must learn all over again. And it is frustrating.
Have you kept in touch much with Abbot Masahira?
Yeah, we try to have tea as often as possible. He's currently at his own monastery, so usually we'll send letters back and forth and see how we're doing. Why do you ask?
Would you like to accompany me to the Eternal Lord's domicile?
Of course.
There is
When
something
would
of a
you-
more mystical nature that the Shogun would have me bring forth to you.
Of course, yeah. When would you like to go?
Whenever you are ready, Abbess.
Okay. I need to finish my class, but then I think that we can probably head after. Would you like to stay for dinner?
She nods and says, "Perhaps while I'm here, I will see how well your students are at archery."
That would be lovely. I'm sure that they would love to see a master such as yourself do some fantastic archery.
And she just gives you this smile and pats your shoulder as she walks by. It's like, "Don't keep me waiting too long, Abbess."
Okay. Sure thing. And she's like holding her shit together on the inside, right? Because she's just like, don't flirt with her. Don't flirt with her. Like, you want to, but don't do it, even though you changed all the rules and it's fine now. But no, I'm just kidding. So she'd go back, she'd check on her class. How are they doing? Are they okay? Like, did they like figure out how to pull a ball out of nothing, a ball of water out of nothing?
They are struggling as much as anyone would, but you've taught them well enough to see this as an opportunity to learn.
Got it. So I would probably take a moment and like address some of the things that I'm seeing and ways in which they could be improved generally, just to not call anyone out. And then um, uh, mention, thank you so much for being here today and learning with me today. Um, Class is dismissed. Uh, yeah. So please have go eat. Go eat. Make sure that you put your stuff away, but go eat. Like I'll see you later.
And they all, give you a very proper bow.
Right. And she'll do it back even though it's weird. I mean, does she do it back? Would she do that back as well? Like,
It would be a sign of respect to bow back
okay,
to someone. It's just if you ever bowed lower than they did, they have to do it again and go even
got it.
lower.
No, we won't do that though. We'll do like a gentle whatever. So yeah. And I will meet up with Sashihira. I've got a private table in the, like, I guess it's a mess hall, or there's also
Mhm.
private dining. It's up to her. I don't care. It's whatever she wants to do. So I would
She would
ask.
probably take it in the dining hall with the rest of your students, but your guys are far enough away to where she can talk.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
And she
probably
is
something lovely. scene.
She is watching them in a way where you would know that this is like the way a military like she is the general
Mhm.
of the army,
Right. Right.
and she is looking at them like a general would soldiers.
Mm-hmm. So
It's
how
like
do they fare?
some of them are competent, some of them are
Mhm.
lost causes, some of them could be taught with proper training.
I think anybody's a lost cause, but maybe they're just not proficient in that particular thing, and they would work better elsewhere. We
And
can
she
make something happen.
smiles. It's like, this is where you and I differ, Abbess. Military training is about dedicating as few resources as necessary to train someone to an optimal level.
Well,
Yours is about
there,
making them as good of a person as you can.
well, there is a mind-body balance here. So you can't have one without the other. It makes an imbalanced person, and an imbalanced person is in a bad spot.
Soldiers
They
must
need more
need
help.
be imbalanced, for we ask them to do the most inhuman of things.
Of course, I understand. I know. Do you plan on taking any of my students as soldiers?
There may be a war coming soon, Uzumi. I do not know with who or what, but we are woefully underprepared. People from
Mm.
beyond the Empire, they fight with machines. Their ships use no sails and belch smoke like mountains into the air. They kill with weapons that have no honor, that kill in an instant, and fight with machines, the likes of which we have never seen.
Hmm. Hmm. This is concerning. Is this what you wanted to talk about, or is there something else that we'll talk to Masahira about?
Part of it. The Shogun believes that there are darker things than man that could be on the horizon. Part of being. And she reaches out and gently touches at the water ring. Part of being someone who bears a burden as this is to always be considering that the Empire is always at risk. There is always a new threat somewhere.
Ooh, she touched your hand.
She did. She touched my hand. Does it linger? No, just kidding.
It does not linger.
It does not. It's fine. Wouldn't expect it to. Let's see. What would she say? Oh, I think she'd say, "I understand the circumstances that I am in, that we are in collectively, that the Empire is in. It is difficult, though, to solely focus on the Empire constantly being in danger. You must also find those gentle moments in between where you can find peace and maybe even a little bit of happiness. Because what is the human condition without both of these things, without balance?"
And she smiles and says, "You forget, I am not human."
I understand. I know. I guess I said it wrong. I'm sorry. I don't
No, but
mean
she
it in
meant it
that
more in a
way.
teasing way.
Yeah. Yeah. And Zumi kind of cringe at herself because she's like, "Ah, that's right. I'm sorry. Like, my bad."
Bird people.
Oh, bird people, you're so
In bird
pretty.
culture, that
You're
is
so
offensive.
pretty.
In bird culture, that is
Ew.
what is referred to as a dick move.
Dick move. Shit.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I guess let me rephrase. The condition of all creatures that are breathing and sentient and understand the power of good and evil, light and dark, and the power of these elements that we see around us and are able to utilize in certain ways. It's okay to be happy once in a while. It's okay to be happy all the time and still feel sad and scared and mad. These are normal.
And she watches you for a moment and says, My father wishes to put forth changes that I'm certain, he is certain, that there are clans that will not take kindly to them. Where does your monastery stand if such a war broke out? Would you stand on principle of the samurai, or would you stand with the shogun and the rest of the empire?
I do believe we stand with the shogun and the rest of the empire. And as with all things, sometimes we must evolve to rise to the occasion.
Even if it means forsaking the tradition of the samurai?
Ashihira, I have always appreciated the way of the samurai. I have never been a very good samurai.
She nods.
True.
Bro! Based and true! That is all I needed to ask. That was not something Father asked of me, but I wanted to be certain. The last thing we would need is for someone of your power to be so stuck in an old way that they can't see the future right in front of them.
Understand. I think that I think she and I have probably had plenty of like conversations, and we probably know each other fairly well at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point. So Izumi could be like, I think you might know me better than that at this moment. We are, I mean, come on, I've got a couple of Yakuza teaching classes right now. It's not great. Like, it's okay, but it's not great. Like,
A
she's
wise
really
man.
quiet at this point.
A wise man once said, all war is deception. So I must
Yeah,
make sure that everything is certain.
I understand. Well, I can promise you that I will never lie to you because I don't see a reason to. But I also want to be clear that sometimes the truth is difficult to swallow.
She nods in agreement and just kind of seems very thoughtful for a moment. I do not always understand what Father wishes for the future of the Empire. I disagreed with him on putting a weak man on the throne, but I see that he has done it to further his own goals, and we must have faith that his goals are the best for everyone.
I mean, the Shogun has been around for quite a while, and again, it may be a bit unorthodox, but I do believe that he has the Empire's best interest at heart. It can be difficult because it can feel sometimes a bit heavy handed, a bit scary, a bit murdery. She doesn't say that part.
Yeah, but she actually would be like, and if there must needs be another grass clan, or even many,
I hate it. I hate it. I don't ever want to see it. I understand it, but I hate it.
and she nods and finishes her meal and stands up, bowing to you, and says like, in the morning we will begin our travel. Be ready.
Okay. Okay. How long do you think we'll be gone?
She stops and thinks. His monastery is on the other side of the Empire. It will probably be several weeks there and back.
Okay. All right. I'll speak with some of my teachers and see if they can redirect my elemental students to a different place.
Perhaps they could go on field trips beyond and see the rest of the world and see if they can't reach out to the elements there.
That is a good idea. Some of them are quite young, though. So, yeah, I think that might be good. I'll talk to the teachers about that. They can use their best judgment in who goes in what way.
Until then, Have a good night,
Thank you.
immortal lady. Or everlasting lady.
It still is so weird for Azumi. It's still so fucking weird. She's just like, yep. Do you need a place to stay tonight? We can have a room made up.
I would appreciate that.
We can do that for you.
And I think we're going to cut there before I saw that look in your eye. I saw that look.
I'm my curry's almost here. There's no look.
There is no look in Bossing Say.
There is no look in Bossing Say.
We are going to cut over to someone who's probably doing some really sneaky shit.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Rashida, where are you right now?
Probably has an office somewhere in the Imperial Castle. That would be nice. With a nice big window opening up into a courtyard. Where at times he'll just stand and will seem to be doing nothing as he looks out.
And it's, with it being close to the summer festival again, there's a lot of commotion as people are getting ready, moving things to and fro, getting decorations ready. And your office window looks out into the main courtyard of the palace. What time of day is it?
Let's say it's late afternoon.
So a lot of the activity of the day has begun to die down, but you still see courtiers and their mistresses out on walks or with other noblemen talking about the comings and goings of politics and the like. The occasional guard or soldier. Then you hear do you and your shinobi have a particular way of letting you know that they're there?
They'll just whisper my name because I will hear it on the wind.
And from the rafters above you hear, "My lord."
What is the news?
And hopping down with no sound as they land in the stereotypical shinobi garb is one of your ninja. And what kind of missions do you send your shinobi on?
Usually fact finding, surveillance, information gathering, because knowledge is power.
Do you ever spy on your friends?
Well, he'll check on them. It's not necessarily spying.
The Shogun has spoken with Kochiki today.
I'm very sorry for the Shogun.
That actually does get like a very brief chuckle before the person's like, "Oh." But there's like, the Shogun had something in his hand. I couldn't be certain what at first. It appeared to be schematics for something.
Engineering. Well, it's a science that Kochiki most likely would learn. It doesn't involve doing very much.
The Shogun seemed to be... Well, I got close enough to listen, and they believe that there's a potential risk of invasion from outsiders. And that the Empire is far, far behind them in capability.
It may be time to take a look and see what's going on beyond our borders. Find
Would you like...
most... well, the workers who have the most chance of getting outside of our borders without seeming like they come from here, if you understand my meaning.
He nods. And what will their mission be, my lord?
Find more schematics. Find out what they have that we don't. And how it works.
I will send your message on the wind and see who can handle such a task. as you have laid forth. And as they go to disappear into the shadows again, as all edgy ninjas are wont to do, looks towards the door and is like, "You have company approaching."
He'll nod, let them go disappear.
Yeah, they just step into the shadows and disappear. And there is a how do you knock on the door when the door is
You knock on
is
the wood on the side, the frame of the door.
yeah, there's a knock on the door.
Come.
The door slides open and two guards step aside as the Shogun walks in.
Give him a deep bow.
He
Hello.
bows in return. He's like, "Knowing you, you know why I'm here."
Yes, I have an idea, and I'm starting the steps towards gathering information that we may need for what is to come.
Your spies are excellent if I cannot sense their presence.
I only choose the best. But you do realize that I have never fully lied to you except for my true family name.
Which I understand. The Lily Clan's traditions are no, let me praise. The Lily Clan are one of the most loyal clans. You hold no loyalty to one person, no loyalty to one aspect of Bushido. But you hold it to the Empire itself. It's an admirable trait.
Yes, and it allows us to work in ways that others cannot.
That is what I wish to speak with you about. I'm certain that you know if we are going to modernize our empire, truly modernize it, it will need to be in every aspect, from the life of the lowliest peasant to the life of the highest noble. Samurai are not ones that welcome such change.
Samurai need to learn how to bend with the breeze instead of stand strong against it, else they'll break.
And he does give you a long look at that, and he's like, "You've learned that from your friend, didn't you?"
Yes, indeed I did. Now, is there anything specific you need me to look into?
I need you to listen in on the great clans. The minor clans are constantly looking for edges up on each other or the great clans. They're easy to distract. They are easy to bend to my whims. The great clans are proud and arrogant. I need to know who I can trust and who I should be ready to remind them of their place.
I have a few suggestions, and I will finish a list for you as soon as possible. He'll walk over to his desk, and Breeze kicks up, sliding an inkwell with a pen in it over close to the center of the desk, and spreading out a scroll in front of him so he can start writing.
To that end, I plan to announce with the coming festival that the country is open once more. If we are going to modernize, we must also be willing to integrate ourselves with the wider world.
That is true. And the wider world needs to be ready for us to integrate with them. I have put into action an idea to send a few of mine to see what they can find out there.
He smiles and is like, "This is why I trust you so dearly, everlasting Lord of the breath unheard."
And I thank you for that trust. Without it, I would not be half as effective as I am.
You are very different than the one who wore that ring before you.
Well, things change. Like the wind.
He smiles. It's like, in some ways, I'm surprised that had he been there, that the ring would not have gone to your friend. What was it? Hiroki. Kaze was a stubborn and brave fighter, always rushing headlong into danger. The bravest of us and one of the strongest. Yes, even braver than I.
Fortunately, bravery does not always mean running into combat. As he finishes writing something, he starts folding it up and comes out with a crane-shaped piece of origami, which he holds in his hand, whispers to it where to go, and a breeze takes it out the window.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's so similar to, No, I'm thinking of something else. But that is really cool. God. Yeah, and we see it as it goes. Its little origami wings flap as it loses the breeze to keep itself aloft. He's like, Kaze's bravery, no doubt, is what eventually led to his demise. I come to warn you as much as to ask for your aid. In the times ahead, those who are always in the shadows are at most risk of falling to the darkness.
I will keep an eye on mine. With you, I stand in the light so you can see. But those who work for me, I understand they need vigilance amongst each other.
And bear in mind that it was the family most connected with Shinobi and information gathering that turned on us a year ago.
True. True. But I have no such plans, and you know where my loyalties lie.
I do not doubt your loyalties, or those of any of my everlasting lords and lady. Even Kochiki, as foolish as he is, he knows where he lies. But at that, he kind of looks out your window and is like, "I'm certain that the festival will be a busy time for you."
Indeed. Lots of whispers. I walk the halls and hear what I can. And I would suggest that perhaps you should find a more subtle way to direct the Emperor when he needs to answer questions. They're starting to talk.
Part of me has been doing this as a way to show that the Emperor is in my power, that I am the only true power here in the Empire, that I am the law, and the word is law.
But that alienates those who feel that the Emperor should be the one in true power. And that we're waiting for the ascendance to adulthood of the previous Emperor.
Yeah, and there's a look of actual shame when you mention that, and he shakes his head and is, "My one shame is that I could not uphold my oath to protect the Emperor."
Now, you definitely can. You have very handy assistance.
I do. Would that I had had your assistance before, but in truth, if I had known who you had been working with and who you had been consorting with, I might have had you all executed as traitors.
Fortunately, that did not come to pass.
In a strange way, not knowing that I had had the last son of a traitor clan and an ice witch of an enemy nation within my port has earned me greater allies than I could have expected.
Well, that's how things change. You don't have anything like that happening now. At least not as far as my ears can tell.
Keep up the good work, Nagashita. And he is familiar enough to where he refers to you by your given name, not your family name.
Yeah.
I believe that soon I will be calling upon all four of you to speak in person.
I will be ready.
Until
Gives him a
then,
bow.
enjoy the good weather. I'm sure that the winds are beneficial this time of day.
Indeed they are.
Yep, and he turns to head out. Which means we cut to the last of the four, Masahira.
Yo, is your boy.
What is the average day that Masahira has as an abbot at the great temple to Amaterasu?
So one of the biggest things he teaches is humility and that everyone under the light of the Lady Sun is no better than the next as far as the normal person goes. Obviously, like Shogun, Emperor, especially the Emperor, since the Emperor's bloodline is supposed to be able to trace itself to Amaterasu herself. But it's like, so he's probably actually usually just helps out around with chores and stuff. Answers questions whenever someone comes up and approaches him with one. But most of it, he leaves everyone to their own studies. They have teachers that will, they're the teachers that aid them and such. But yeah, most oftentimes people will find him out about sweeping up some of the parts of the temple, or just standing up on like a ledge, just staring out at the sun, kind of like the picture.
And it's probably later in the day too. But one of another, I guess you would call them priests, that lives in the monastery. One that I don't know how you would feel about them. They are a real firebrand. They're someone that always seems to be not looking for trouble, but starting trouble. Asking questions that make the more orthodox members of the temple very upset. And as you're sweeping, you always know that they're around because, as this particular song is called, they always smell of sakura-scented kisuru.
Yeah, he'll just kind of like smile as he smells them coming. I smell you.
Yeah, sakura-scented tobacco, basically. So you're like, but they're like, Abbott, I have a question for you. The others refuse to listen to me, but I believe that this is an important enough question to ask.
Of course. What may I help you with?
Why do we not worship Tsukiyomi with the same regard that we do to Amaterasu? Not only is he Lady Sun's brother, but what is the moon but the son of the night? Why do we not offer the moon the same respect as the sun at this temple?
The moon is on a Tengu, which is her husband. Has something changed?
Tsukiyomi is the god of the moon.
Not according to Legend of the Five Rings.
Well, I'm going
Ah.
off of actual Japanese mythology.
Rip. Fuck if I know.
How would you say?
I know.
Huh.
Because now I have to look up lore of the Tsukiyomi.
Come on, go for
Tsukiyomi.
the moon of reflected sunlight theory.
Well,
Ooh.
Tsukiyomi killed someone, so the goddess of food. So
Yeah,
that's
the
probably...
god of food. The god of food was like, "Here, want to see how I make rice?" Tui. And Tsukiyomi went, "That's disgusting," and then murdered them. And then Amaterasu was like, "You dumb bitch." And
Yep,
Tsukiyomi's
that's...
like, "Fuck you." And then
Yeah.
so she picked him up and like yeeted him off into space, and he became the moon. And then for some reason got associated with bunnies.
Aw.
Well,
Yeah, moon
Tsukiyomi...
rabbits.
Aw.
Tsukiyomi may be deserving of respect equal to any of the kami we serve, but at the same time, they have been known to be rash and violent. And Amaterasu's teachings are more about peace and and loving life as we have since the beginning of time.
Yes, but even our empire was founded in violence, was it not? Our people came here with the first emperor and conquered these lands.
Yes, and as the moon sets and violence fades away, we return once again to a land of light and peace. They can work hand in hand, but ultimately we spend our days under the sun, our nights under the moon, sleeping. We tend to try to avoid violence and spend our time under Amaterasu's light as each day passes.
There is probably like this incredulous, like this person is a peasant. They don't have any weapons, so they give you like a very incredulous look towards your swords because you have like 4 on you.
No, he doesn't carry swords in the monastery.
Ah,
Oh.
interesting. Interesting.
Because he doesn't need to. He can summon a sword of fire at any moment. Yeah, no, he just wears his robes.
And this person seems to sigh a little bit. You know that their argumentative nature is a little bit of one-upsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
It's born out of a good place. Like, these are good questions to ask, but are they necessarily being done in good faith?
Right. I think he'll continue. But like, violence is not something to be frowned upon, but it can be necessary in times of need. But is the ultimate goal to seek peace and kindness over violence. Forgiveness will take you so much further than hatred or wrath.
You probably, it's like, huh, if only the others knew that, how violently they react to my questions. But was it not violence as well that any motions to the ring around your wrist? Can you tell me about what happened that day? Everlasting Lord of the Sacred Flames.
It was a dark time. The moon was high and we had to fight to save the land. And we did. It was ultimately a goal to obtain peace once again under the sun and return whatever we call this land. I don't know what we call it.
Ameko.
Ameko to a time of prosperity.
Some say that there was a witch involved. Or a demon, or some sort of creature. Is this true?
He will smile. Like, stories tend to spread far and wide, and they can change from mouth to mouth. But I will concur, or I will confirm that at the time there was a demon, and the demon was dealt
Was it an Oni or
with.
and like starts naming off a bunch of different yokai?
I don't know what we call it. What'd you
You
say?
wouldn't. It was
Oh.
a demon of like what a European would call a demon, not what a
Yeah.
Japanese person would call a demon.
It was a foreign demon unknown to us.
It was a demon of hell.
It was a demon not of our realm, unknown to most.
Ugh. Yeah, that gives this person a bit of a pause. It's like, but if such things were ever to return, one would say that the moon would need to rise to meet them. Clearly, just kind of giving you shit for the violence is the moon and peace and hippies and
If well, that's when. If foreign demons return once again to our soil, the light of Amaterasu will burn them away in mere moments. We need not the moon, but her everlasting light.
And he sighs and folds his arms in that way where they go into the sleeves of the kimono. And he's like, I suppose you're right. Just hope it never comes to that. Thank you for listening to me, Abbott.
Of course, I see everyone here as worthy of respect.
He dips his head.
Take the hint
and
and be respectful to your peers. No.
no! Screams and runs away. But no, he dips his head and backs off into the temple.
Yeah.
And it's probably about this time that you see a boat approaching.
Oh, we didn't fly.
No, you didn't fly. She's not gonna fucking carry you like
No,
across the country. Like
I can do a pillar of air. We could have feasibly flown together.
true. In fact, you probably wouldn't take a boat. You'd probably be water bending your way over.
Mm-hmm.
You're just surfing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody going surfing.
Sure am. Is she flying or surfing with me?
She'd probably be flying. She's a Tengu. Birds don't really like getting into water unless they're ducks.
Unless they're taking a bath.
I love that.
Unless hold on.
I'm absolutely surfing.
Splash,
Unless they're
splash, I
ducks.
was taking a bath.
Ooh. Bars.
And she is not a duck.
I think Avatar. Wow, Masahiro gets visibly excited. He probably like lets the broom drop and he just starts doing his little like hopping from stone to stone down the fucking monastery side. So it'd be more like what are those things that jut out from a building? Little spikes or whatever. Not spikes,
Yeah,
but
the like wooden.
little ledges and struts and whatnot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just like bouncing from strut to strut. Just making his way to the entrance.
Yeah. Izumi,
Mm-hmm.
you see your buddy fucking doing
Descending
like
from the sun.
descending.
Oh gosh. She gets excited too. And like the wave that she's riding on gets like way bigger. It's still manageable. But you like I don't know if you would be able to hear her, but she would be like, Masahiro like waving wildly. She's like fucking surfing. She was very cool until she saw you, and then she became very uncool very quickly.
There's like a flash of what looks like the sun. There's just giant like wings spread out from him, so he just flies faster straight down.
We're like little kids.
I think everyone in the monastery just gets blinded for a moment. Like, oh, he must be visiting again.
Yeah, there's at least one person that you hear just be like, "Ah! My leg!"
My leg. Oh God, do we meet? Where do we meet each other? Surely, like right on the beach, right?
At the beach.
Let's all get away. They say what they gotta say.
We have to follow formalities. So like, I land, the wings go away. I kind of pat down my robes and straighten up and stand like an abbot.
Right. Like my wave will like crash on the beach, but I don't crash on the beach. It just goes into the sand, and I'm just standing on the sand, right? And I like kind of like I brush myself off too, and we do that. Like I'll
We bow to each
you.
other
And then it's
like
just like,
abbess. Yeah.
what are you doing? This is crazy. It's so nice to see you. Hi.
What spurs this visit? Oh, she lands.
Yeah, she circles and lands, transforming from her tall, gangly, weird-looking, almost a little bit upsetting bird self back into a human self. I almost said person.
I give her a pretty deep
Person
bow, and I'm
self.
just like, what would I call it? What would her title be? Is it just General? Lord General?
General. Probably just general.
Oh
Like,
God, is that
General.
what I can call it?
What brings you here?
My father has news that he wished for me to deliver unto you. He is busy with the preparations for the summer festival, as you can imagine. And I do not doubt that Nagashira and Kochiki leave him much time to consider many things. Giving this, like, little smile, like, she really means Kochiki's a bitch.
Yeah, I forgot Kachiki's doing stuff. How's that going?
He is the everlasting lord of arcane knowledge.
I love that. I love that for us. That's great. I love that for the whole empire.
I assume he performs his role well.
Cut to me standing in front of a giant mural. And I'm just proudly looking up into the sky. pouring matcha into the sewers.
I was literally thinking that. Someone brings you a matcha, you're like, dump.
You maintain eye contact while you dump it in the
You throw you somehow get plastic cups and you just throw them into the ocean. You go, as a treat.
Oh, God.
It will give something for Azumi to pick up when she comes here as we look out at the harbor and it's just fucking disgusting.
Well,
It's
the harbor is all matcha.
like you know when you get like a
what the fuck?
you know when you get like a really silty river and it empties out into a delta and it's like all that brown and green going out into the sea. It's that, but matcha.
What do we call the country again? I can't remember.
Ameko.
The Amako Tea Party or Amako Matcha Party. They dumped all the matcha in the harbor.
It's so funny.
Yo, you lost all your tea in my harbor.
Greasy?
Greasy at the fucking revolution. He's actually like he's a red coat. He's like, stop dumping all the tea in there, you fucking idiots. Dude, that's like $10 billion in like 2020 time.
Dude.
It really was like several $1 billion.
Hot.
This curry is like spicy.
I'm so jelly.
You should be. It's okay. I've had better, but it's good. It's edible.
Alright, so she said she brought news.
Yeah, news from the Shogun.
Can we speak freely here? I mean, we're on a beach. Is there anybody else around the beach?
Probably not.
We can retire to my chambers if you'd all like. By chambers, he means sitting room and all that. Or we
Yeah,
can
we'll go
speak
to your
here.
private chambers.
Ooh woo.
She'll do anything to get a
Ooh.
moment alone with the general.
Listen, you don't know what happened last night. No one does, because we didn't talk about it. Wherever you want to do things, let's go to talk to things.
And-
How did I get so
and
stupid so quick? I was so great at this, and then I got real stupid real fast. I'm sorry.
She probably says, "It is best that no one else hears what I need to speak of."
Then perhaps
gonna-
it's best to speak here under the light of the Lady Sun, where no prying ears or eyes can be anywhere
Except
near.
for the Lady Sons herself.
That's concerning.
She's saying that just to fuck with you.
Oh. Okay, as long as
Izumi
it's
will just
obvious.
smile at her.
It's just like, we about to plot against Amaterasu because you're at the wrong place.
Why would she come to you for that?
Exactly.
By the way, we're mad at your god.
Yeah, right. We're waging war against your god. I hope you know.
Heads up.
Yeah. No, we can speak here on the beach, away from everyone.
At the beach, eat, you all got away.
Ninki Majaj. But yeah, she motions for you to get closer and says, "I've already spoken with Izumi that the Empire has fallen decades, perhaps centuries behind the rest of the world. But that is not the only threat to our country. The demon that Daliada summoned. According to the Shogun, a time is coming soon when, as he said it, hell itself will rise to meet all of the world.
That's concerning. I don't even think we got that demon's name.
You got its true name, but you also know if you tried to say, when she said it out loud, it physically hurt to hear.
Yeah. So what does this mean for the Empire? What does this mean for us? What do we need to be working on?
Well, Izumi, do you remember your little curse?
Oh yeah, that thing that was gonna totally murder my ass. Yeah.
Did you ever see an old woman?
I did a couple times.
That was Oni Baba,
Oh yeah.
the demon hag.
Oh yeah.
This will be a bit of a story, but long ago, not long after the founding of our empire, there was peace. And in the dark, and you know that no one goes up into the mountains in the center of the country. Like, let me move us to the world map. Like, you see right around here, these big ass mountains? No one goes in there. No one goes into the mountains because they are haunted by all sorts of demons and ghosts and nasty shit.
Mm-hmm.
So before then, people lived in the mountains as they did anywhere else. Legends say that there was once a woman who was betrothed to another, a peasant woman in a small peasant village betrothed to another, but that the lord of the land wished to take her instead as his wife, which she did not want. She fled along with her husband, but they were caught by the lord of the land, who was not only angry that they had fled, but that she was pregnant with this man's child. So he had her buried alive. And that her spirit was so angered that all of that evil that my father and the other Niho have fought so long to banish away awoke with her spirit, and the spirit of her unborn. And that she opened a gateway to Jikoku itself. Hell.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why the mountains are as they are now. For us, the Shogun believes that Onibaba is returning, and that she will darken the sky into an eternal night.
Blasphemy!
She will return on the next blood moon.
When is the next blood moon?
A long ways away still.
So, has anyone considered apologizing to her?
Should we apologize for someone that we knew not? That man who, if the legend be true, murdered her was long dead himself.
Of course. But those spirits, those feelings, tend to thrive in the universe so deeply. Maybe not an apology. Maybe like we understand and would like to do everything in our power to make it better. And we have the power to make it better. How could we best pacify her and maybe start a different road other than one of violence and mistrust?
I don't know if she can be pacified. All I know is that when last she woke over 1,000 years ago, my father and the others who bore your rings struck her down. But she has obviously returned. Or perhaps that which is not truly dead can stay dead.
Sounds like her spirit needs to be purified, not slain or put down.
Maybe. And when she says dead but not stay dead, Izumi will smile because she will think about her abbot. Because she is still waiting for that moment for this child to come see me and be that abbot. I don't want it to happen yet, though. Like, emotionally, I don't think I can handle it. So it's not. Unless you really feel like making me cry a second time in your games, in which case I'll move my curry so I don't cry in it.
No, a portal opens up and out steps what you think is a child who goes, "Oh, DOG, JR, where?"
Oh shit! Oh shit! And then
Yeah.
Amy cries again for real. Okay, that's cool.
And then Izumi picks him up and goes, "You don't belong here," and just punts him.
I'll
I'm
punch
still the
you into
leader.
water.
I'm still the leader. Bloop.
I'm
And
still
then we
the
find out that
leader.
Flanagan can't swim.
Oh no,
Flanagan
that's
actually
okay.
couldn't. He's in heavy armor, so he would sink to the bottom as per the rules
Well,
of D&D.
Connor,
I am the
Izumi,
keeper
and
of water.
Izumi and
I would've-
Friday's fucking murdered Flanagan.
I would have kept you alive, like buoying.
Fucking magic! They drift into
So-
the sea.
Maybe we could appease her spirit and purify it, and then we don't have to continue this unrelenting, never-ending war.
This immortal war, if you will.
Oh, this immortal war. Oh no, they said the title.
Oh no, the title. Roll
Fun
credits.
fact,
Roll
before I
credits.
got fucking sick of this system, she was gonna be the bad guy.
Who?
This was gonna turn into a campaign of fighting the undead and yokai.
Ah, shit.
Oh.
My
Crosshair was
specialty.
gonna be like, there's gonna be like zombies and shit. And I bet Kochiki would be very, very happy that there were like zombies and skeleton samurai and stuff, and be like, they're even smellier than regular people. Oh!
Well, what shall we do then? Shall we formulate a plan? Shall we meet with the Shogun?
The Shogun does request your presence, the two of you, for the upcoming summer festivals.
Of course.
Yes, it is no. no issue for me to appear, I guess.
Haha, I appear before you.
What's the word I'm looking? Attend. There we go. It is no issue for me to attend to the Shogun's summons. I shall be able to leave almost immediately.
But one of your duties is abbot here. And she's gonna know what you've been doing, and she's gonna smile real big and stupid at you.
What about your duties of abbot here?
Who's
Ooh,
gonna sweep the
front
steps? Yeah.
Who's gonna sweep the steps?
That would be
duties-
the Hiroki way to talk about it. Ah, but your duties is abbot. Who will sweep the steps if not for you?
The duties of the monastery are shared by all. Thus, if one or anyone were to leave, there will be no hindrance in the day-to-day function of the monastery.
That's a good game. I should incorporate that. I mean, I
Everyone
have good
pitches
thoughts.
in.
Everyone pitches
The
in.
young, the
I
elderly,
have
the
good
teachers, the
thoughts.
students.
Yeah. We all do our part.
Yeah, if only you changed the rules for that instead of other things.
Instead of, oh, y'all can
Listen.
fuck.
That's all I wanted, okay? I waited until the last episode to throw this at you, okay?
You're
Second
trying to
last
throw it at
episode,
the other
but
players in this game.
I am. It's bad. Well,
We're not the
to
players,
Trying to
we're
throw
the
it back.
Are you really? Is she really? What's happening here? Are we doing
No, it's a joke about you.
Yeah, we're gonna end this with some hardcore smut. Let's fucking
Yeah,
Already.
18 plus stream. Here we go. We're just gonna talk about how you're just
Yes,
pounding it.
Sunbird's about to get
Pounding
some
it.
ab butt.
on a mother.
uh,
Ouch.
Get
Oh,
ruined!
get out. Get
Get mom, it's bad. But yeah, she says, "Hey, demon lady, other shit, come talk to Papa."
Like that. And Azumi is immediately like, you might be my fucking soulmate totally by accident, man. I don't know what to
Are
tell
you having a stroke?
Are you having a stroke? Or are you just sick of these games?
Love games.
You wanna play
Call
love games with me.
James Stronk's having a strong collabondulance.
Oh no. It's awful.
Fantastic.
I'm ready to go when you guys are ready to go. Do we want to go now? Do we want to have dinner again? How long have we been like surfing and flying?
Weeks.
Has it
Yes.
been weeks?
No, the answer to your question of how long you've been doing this is yes.
Okay, got it.
So,
Then we're good.
So as an indeterminate amount of time.
Okay.
Well, let's look at, do I have a, nope, I never put a scale on here. Because you'd be going from like here to like out over here. So it's been a while. It's probably been a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
It's been a while.
If you're flying or surfing the whole time, maybe just a week.
Maybe. We probably stopped to like rest. I mean, do we have to rest?
I assume you do.
Well, it's whatever. We hang out, make a bonfire, talk about cool stories, war stories. That one time
Talk
I
about
punched up some bitch.
boys.
Talk about girls.
Talk about that one time I punched the BBEG so hard.
Punch a hole through her stomach.
Like, my bad, man. That was crazy, man.
Oh
see all the
man,
stuff I
that
can
was
do now.
crazy.
Oopsie
Oh
daisy.
man, that was so crazy. And like made her go into her second boss phase and everything.
Super quick. It was so quick
She
that
was
God
boot
was like,
scooting goofing,
listen,
it
here's
was
how we're
time.
going to do it now.
It was so quick that God was like, "Thank God."
Thank me.
Thank me.
Thank me.
Um,
Yes.
So I don't know. How long would it take a while to get back to the Empire or
The Imperial capital.
yes.
Yeah, but you guys could get there in time, no sweat. Especially if you're like, and I imagine Izumi would just like fucking pick Masahiro up and carry him the whole way there, and he's like, oh.
I can fly. What are you
Masahiro
talking
can
about?
I feel
fly.
like the closer you get, the more Kochiki propaganda you see.
Kochiki. All right, define that for me. What is Kochiki propaganda? Is this like propaganda for the empire that Kochiki made, or is this just stuff where it's like Kochiki is great?
Yes.
You love Kochiki.
No, that one. That one.
Kochiki is good. You love him. You love him very
Kochiki's a
much.
good boy.
Here are your top 3 favorite qualities of Kochiki.
But top 10 Kochiki. 10.
Yeah, I definitely hire a child with a sinus infection to go around and
You hire what's his name?
Chills.
Chills.
Some win-win.
Number 10.
Kochiki. The thing about Kochiki is that he is a very good person. He paid me a lot in order to say this, so I think you should like him.
Shh, shh, shh. I wasn't part of it. Leave that out.
Stick to the script.
Get back on the script, you little shit.
Yeah, I'm just pointing furiously at a script.
You slap and he goes, oh, that really hurt.
Oh my god.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on the pain.
That was a definite 4, which I did not expect from someone with such girly limbs as Kochiki. Lord of Earth. More like Lord of Girth, because he sure isn't skipping on dessert.
Kochiki trying to
Number
hold back
9,
tears
Kochiki
really
eats the
hurts him.
Burger King foot lettuce.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple Whopper. Oh, fuck. So yeah, the summer festival starts again. It's just as fucking packed as last time. Actually, there is probably a bit of trepidation with it because the last year the emperor fucking died. The emperor
right.
fucking died.
Honestly, like this year is like a lot of rebranding to get people back on track to really enjoy the summer festival.
Yeah,
I know with last time that kind of sucked, but we're gonna make it better this time. More security.
a lot more, and you do see a lot more security.
Yeah.
Like before, it was everyone at the War Academy basically just got time off. Now it's no, you guys are going to be working security. Have fun, kids.
Wait, can my monks be there too?
No, because
No?
the Imperial War Academy is under the Imperial Army,
Mm-hmm. Right.
so they can decide that they're basically conscripts. So they're basically like, hey, all you high school kids, you're going to be working security guards / police officers for this festival. Have fun walking a beat.
Oh my god.
Hope you don't get mugged.
Don't get mugged.
Granted, they're all in like military school, so.
They're not
They know what they're doing.
And something you guys do notice is a lot of the soldiers now, instead of carrying katana, they're carrying matchlocks.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, most of them are carrying rifles.
Let's go.
In Kochiki, by now, you probably have gotten, with the help of Nagashita, you've gotten the equivalent of what most people are using out there in the rest of the world is like Henry rifles. So we're talking about things that are lever action. You can load in like 5 or 6 rounds, pull the trigger,
I will
pull the
create
lever.
the Tommy gun.
There aren't Tommy guns yet, but there are Gatling guns out there in some parts of the world. They look like cannons that you roll a crank and it chunk 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 chunk. And you maybe have had a few to watch as demonstrations.
Yes.
Oh, and now that you guys have arrived, yes, the country is open. In fact, out in the bay, you do actually see steamships. And there are a lot more foreigners, foreign dignitaries, wandering around, enjoying the time. Like maybe you hear like the deep low whistle of one of these steamships as it's pulling into the harbor with those billowing black smokestacks.
This is neat. This is different. This is neat, though.
And you're seeing people in all sorts of fashions that are unlike yours. You guys are all in like medieval Japanese stuff, and you're seeing like mid 19th century, so like 1800s style people dressing, like, you know, the nice tailored suits and the big puffy dresses and all of that. Talking about how interesting it is to be in such quite, you know, in such different places now, and all of that.
Oh no. Oh,
You hear, you probably see an ice witch or two who are just there as dignitaries of the Ice Queen.
Right. That probably gives. Izumi does not have any PTSD from this. Izumi beat the shit out of that bitch. Like, Izumi is just like, what? Like, we're gonna go again? Like,
She's ready to.
PTSD is she's just gonna fucking fight. Like,
You run up, this ice witch is just talking to someone like, "Oh, it's nice to be here," and then just gets fucking picked up and suplexed. Didn't do anything. What? Oh my god! Oh my god! It's Izumi with the steel chair! She has snapped this woman smack dab in half! Oh my god!
I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't sitting here watching it live.
God, Aaron, I wish we were still running. We used to have a game on this channel that was wrestling, and I got to be the color commentator.
Oh my god, yes, Aaron would be great.
Yeah, it was a lot of me going, "Oh my god, I cannot believe it."
Well, when I'm in tech school, there's always time for like a little mini short campaign or one shot or something.
Like, if you've ever seen that really weird game Wrestling Empire, it was basically that, where it was like Mira and a couple other people were playing wrestlers who had like their own fucking coaches and shit. I was Mir's coach, or like, you know, the guy who cuts all the promos and stuff, who is this just big fat guy who also was like a former wrestler, and his gimmick was that he had the hat that Doug Dimmadome has, where no matter what you're looking at, it's going off screen. So like if you pulled back and he was a mile away, it would be so high it's still going off screen. But anyway, yeah. We'll start with the two who have been in the capital. How are you two handling the festivities coming back around, but also just all of the others here, all of the people who are not Amakoan? The Gaijin.
I, for one, am so excited to have more people see my propaganda. And I think it's very important that everyone who gets here understands that I rule with a stone fist. But at the end of the day, I still have a kind heart.
We just don't tell them that stone is chalk.
Kochiki, I mean, yeah, Kochiki, now he would never be around the common rabble for sure. No, but he would find like stages and balconies and the like where he can stand up top and wave as as they walk among the streets, and then he'll have it and he'll make sure that he's got his young squire running around and talking about how amazing he is to everyone.
And getting him
handing out
more matcha to
flyers.
pour into the sewer.
Yes. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm just seeing it as an opportunity to just keep flaunting my new power.
Have
and
you
respect.
have you entertained any foreign dignitaries as they've been here?
Yes, I think I still have like that diplomat side to me where I want them to go back home and talk about how they met this amazing person. They met Kochiki, the
I have an
Kochiki.
interesting one.
Oh no.
Would you entertain one of the ice witches?
Mm-mm.
Another woman with long blonde hair and the flowing white dress. All of the like, it's kind. She looks different than Daliada,
See, this is
but
interesting because
they look a lot alike. It's like one of those they could have been sisters kind of things. And if
Izumi
you
does
thought that
not.
Daliada had hadonka badonkas, this one's got crazy gahunga gaflunkas.
Stop.
Where
This is
Izumi has
sad.
no PTSD, Kochiki for sure does. I think.
Oh, something else to add on to this to make it even worse for Kochiki. You think that she has like a circlet or something that she's wearing that's made out of like icicles. But you notice whenever she turns her head a certain way, no, those are icicles growing out of her head, kind of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe style.
It's like he's like the arcane man of knowledge. So like a part of him is like, I need to have a relationship with these people so I can learn of their magics
Oh, and they
and
just
document it.
exude magic power.
Yeah, I think Kochiki would do it, but he would make sure that they sit at like the longest table that they possibly can.
Like that picture of Putin talking with one of his generals, and it's that, or the one, no, it's Emmanuel Macron, and it's like that table that's like as long as the room, and he's
Yeah,
on
just
one end
so
and
long.
Macron's on the other.
Yeah, we have to almost shout at each other. But no, yeah, he would do it. But it would be it would be very much that setup. He would have some people that he's not wanting to call guards, but they're 100% there in case shit pops off because he's so terrified.
Oh yeah, and she probably has guards
Yeah.
that
Wait,
that accompany
is
her,
that
and they
situation
look
where
like.
there's just a person going back and forth like the lady would like to know if this, and then the gentleman would like to know if this. The lady responds with the
Yes,
you
but they
can't even
just say the
talk to each
rules.
other because you're so far apart.
And for reference, her soldiers are dressing more like, if I can get a good picture, and I will put it in the Discord once I find it. Apology. Terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. Terribly sorry.
Gomenasai.
I'm trying to.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Fancy.
Oh shit.
They so fancy.
And you can tell that all of them are probably officers from the fact that they have like medals on their chest. Each of them are carrying a saber. They have like fluted plumes on their hats that have all of these colorful feathers and everything. It's very strange to you, probably, the way they dress.
Yeah. No, for
And also,
sure.
they all wear like the funny waxed mustaches that go like out past their faces, and the like mutton chop beard combo.
Yeah, yeah, I'm terrified. There's so much unknown, and there's a lady here that I remember meeting someone like this woman could just fully murder me. Um, yeah, I think the conversation would very much be she would be in control of it the whole time. He would have her there just so that he could tell people that he spoke with one and lie to them about how the conversation went, but then when you actually see the conversation, it's just her being big dommy mommy and him being like, yes, uh-huh, thank you.
And how would Kochiki handle that? Probably a lot of these questions are very like probing about the current situation of the empire. Like, how are things going domestically? Is everything peaceful? A lot of stuff where if you put all of it together, it'd be like, how easy would it be to invade this place?
I think Kochiki is still well versed enough in diplomacy to like skate his way around those, or just say, unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to discuss these matters, but let's get back to the magic. I'd love to know about this funny thing you have going on your head.
Oh, yeah, she would tell you how it works to be an ice witch. It's in Virginia when someone is born that shows magical promise, the ice witches will come for them, and they take them from their homes without asking, because there is no chance to ask. You don't get to ask. Or there's no saying no to the ice witches. And one of two things happens. The girls get sent to the palace of the Ice Queen, where they are trained by other ice witches in all of their arcane rituals, which involve such things as standing out in the middle of a blizzard until the ice no longer affects you.
Ouch.
The boys, no
Die.
one knows what happened to them, but there are no male magic users in Virginia.
Yes, this makes me feel much more comfortable around these people, and I'm not terrified at all. Like,
Let's just yeet them.
yeah, I think it's a horrifying conversation, and
But yeah, there's some weird like Baba Yaga stuff going on over there. You get some impressions of that where like they probably do at one point mention something about houses that move on chicken legs and the whole Baba Yaga thing, or witches that like gnarled elderly witches that live deep in the woods where no one goes.
oh, that's awesome. That's
They
great.
hand out candy and gingerbread.
We have some stuff like that. We have like samurai armor that is said to float on it. So, all right, this was a great meeting. Like,
And what about Nagashita? How are you handling all of these filthy gaijin?
Pretty well. At some point, he would have requested a add-on and remodeling for Suchi and Saito's place,
Oh,
just as an apology for using their name, using her name.
get my... Saito walks up, slaps you, and says to keep his. No, Suchi walks up, slaps you, and says, "Keep my male wife's name out of your mouth." But they've been doing well.
Yeah,
Saito is not.
especially if we have a not so dissimilar face in front, bringing in all tourists to stay there. Because Saito, part Gaijin.
He is, and he hasn't fully recovered from the beating he got. There's like
It's been a
he
year.
got like real fucked up along like the ocular lobe and things like that. So like he still has a little bit of fuzzy vision out of one eye, but he looks a lot better. And they still have Boba.
Make it into town.
Boba is still. Where do you think that the Shogun wanted to meet you?
Ooh!
I'm so excited.
But
I'll also be telling some of my boys, the ones that are also most likely part Gaijin, to see if they can either disguise themselves as potential workers and get free rides over to the other side.
oh yeah, there's definitely one point where there's one that goes full Agent 47 and like knocks one out and then just and then immediately changes into their clothes and is like, "Yes, I'm Russian now." But other than that, yeah, you guys would get there and you would follow those of you who are from out. Yeah, let's do that a little bit. Those of you who are from outside of the city, how are you handling all of these gaijin and strangers and all of this weird stuff going on?
I am taking it in with a giant smile.
Yes.
More
yeah,
people
Even
in
when
the
you
light
see
of
the
Lady
ice
Sun, the
witches?
better.
There's been more than once, by the way, Masahira, that some of the gaijin have confused you for a woman because of your long, effeminate hair. Like they aren't looking like, "Excuse me, madam," and then you turn around, they're like, "Oh, terribly sorry."
Mom.
Excuse me, good sir. There's definitely one that is an older gentleman with a small mustache wearing a white suit and is like, "Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for an eatery in this place, if you could direct me so kindly."
I'll point him to one nearby.
I do hope that they serve chicken.
God.
God damn.
Izumi is
Colonel
down.
Sanders
This
has
is fun.
arrived.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders is beginning his conquest.
That's terrible. I love it. Izumi's
KFC's
dressed
open
really
up within a
modestly.
month. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super modest. Just like not in. She wouldn't wear anything super like extravagant anyway. But when she sees like these women walk by with like the puffy butts,
Mm-hmm.
she just you can tell she's like, I want to know how it does that, and not like in
Wow.
a creepy pervy way. I just like
Got
like
some
they
junk in the
walk.
trunk.
I mean, well, because it also they bounce a little bit, right? And she's like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not normal. And I feel like Masahiro would see Izumi start to like turn and walk towards these women because I have questions.
And they're all
will you
doing.
stop me?
They've got like parasols, and they're all wearing like daisy chain like flowers around their neck and all of
Mhm.
that. The delicate little hand gloves and everything. They are proper women, proper
Oh, I love
good
it.
women.
I love it so much. Right.
What?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk up to them.
I'll
I
probably
wanna,
like
are you gonna
pinch.
stop me?
Yeah, I'll probably like pinch your whatever somewhere on your outfit to like kind of pull you back just lightly as like
No,
we have
but
somewhere to go.
I want to ask questions. I have so many questions.
And it's not just
Like,
like
Very
what we
careful
would
way.
call Europeans or Russians or things like that. There's also, and they probably stand out just for how colorful their outfits are, but there are people from what we would call like African nations where they are wearing like robes that are just
ooh, yeah.
brilliantly colorful,
Mm.
bright reds and yellows and oranges. Like
Mm-hmm.
they obviously come from a place with a lot of gold and are showing that
Mhm.
off, where it's like gold
Yeah.
and more gold. Like if they're pretty much like
Pretty.
the king of Mali, who when he went around Europe in like I think this was like the 1500s, he brought so much gold with him and gave out so much gold as gifts that it literally crashed the value of gold in Europe
Masa
for like
Musa.
50. Yeah, Masa Musa. He was like, I'm going to ruin the economy because I'm giving away so much gold.
I love that.
Because
Yeah, I'd get
gold
tugged.
worth nothing if everyone's got it.
Exactly. I get tugged and I just be like, but I just wanna know how they make the thing do the fluffy puffy thing. What's
Perhaps
under there?
after the meeting.
Okay,
That's when you find out
fair.
the
What you-
truth. It's just that they're all dummy thick.
What's it
Or
gonna
no.
do with the big fat butt?
That's where they
Wiggle,
put all the
wiggle,
male
wiggle.
eye switches.
It's that's really what I get so fucking annoyed, but it's fine. And I'm gonna look at Sashihira and just be like, surely you want to know as well. Like that defies gravity. Like
And she's
what is
looking at
that?
like some soldiers are walking by, like foreign soldiers are walking by with like their rifles, and she's more like, I'm more interested in that.
Oh, good
They
to
got-
know.
They got boomsticks.
Yeah, not the men. She's specifically pointing
Oh.
at the boomsticks.
Oh, okay. Because I thought something else, and I was like, well, you think they'd come up at some point in one of our conversations?
No.
Uh,
In fact, this is my world. There could be female soldiers there for all you know.
There should be. Why not? And also men dressed in poofy butt dresses. They're amazing.
Why would they do
Just
that
wanna
when they
look
could have the
underneath it.
very snazzy suits, though?
I don't see. That is a great
With
question
the
because
funny
honestly,
swallowtails.
yes, like dresses in real life kind of give me the ick, like a little bit. Like it's just not my jam, right? It's
I'm
not that
jealous
it
of the
is
fact
bad.
that women have fashion and men have
Yeah,
suits.
Suits.
right.
And we have
true.
had that
That's
for the
true.
last 150 years.
That
Male
does suck,
fashion
and I
has
hate
been
that for you.
suits for 150 years.
Well,
I
we
know.
get pockets though.
Yeah, we do
We
get
do get
pockets. I'm
pockets.
pretty happy about that.
Like
But I would trade
I'm pretty
pockets to have
picky.
like the nice shawls and all of that cool
I would
stuff.
absolutely. Why can't we have both though? Like why can't we just have both?
Yeah, why can't I have
I mean, dresses have plenty of room for
pockets in
pockets.
Yeah, pockets
That's
for
'cause
all.
some dresses have pockets.
It's because you guys have the forbidden pocket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
The
Real.
forbidden. Do you know? No.
Good
Do you
night,
know what
folks.
the forbidden? No, the forbidden pocket. It's not a big deal. It's not like a prison wallet. It's the forbidden. This stream just got fucked up. No pocket. Look here. It's easy. Forbidden pocket. That's all it is. Just that's it. That's the forbidden pocket. Now I gotta dig it out. Hold on. Okay.
Anyways,
Moving on.
Moving on.
That's
You all
snort number one.
some real bottom energy.
Oh, now you done it. Gonna kill her.
I'm gonna vomit. I ate so much curry. I can't laugh this hard. I'm gonna vomit.
all right. So we go to the
Sleepy Sheba.
the Sleepy Shiba.
You go to the Go to the forbidden. You get. I almost fucking. Oh, I almost said
Forbidden
you go to the
Shiba?
forbidden pocket.
They're both dying.
I don't turn as red as Amy does, though. Whew. Yes. You go to the Sleepy Shiva. You open the door. And Boba is dressed as a fine Victorian gentleman.
I
Oh,
immediately pick him up and hug him. He is my favorite.
With a little top hat and everything. He's dressed like Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm loving him.
Ooh, I
I'm
put him back
like
down.
holding him. Why am
You pick him up and he's like, he's doing that dumb dog thing of just like you're giving them all the love and they're just like,
I love it. Like
because
we're
no
both
matter
doing
what
the same
people say,
face.
dogs are kind of silly and dumb.
Dogs are dumb and good dumb. So yeah, she's just gonna be like, "Hello, Boba, loving Boba," and see everybody. How's
And you hear just like one of those Sheba.
You should come visit me sometime at the monastery, along with your people. Because now she's realized what she said.
You people, and I do mean you people.
No. Your people, not you people. Your people, like your
I know,
people.
just
Yeah. Okay. I was like, did I say that wrong? Fuck.
No,
I
you
feel
didn't.
bad now.
You said it right,
good.
Amy.
Okay, good. I need your humans to show up so it doesn't look weird. Fucking Sheba just walks in with a fucking outfit on.
Lady Suchi does walk out in her nice outfit with like the wide brimmed hat that has the little veil coming down over it. And it's like, oh, it's like, Izumi, it's so good to see. And like gives you a hug and everything.
Yes. I'll put Boba down and I'll hug her gently and
bows to you, Mazahir, bows to you, Nagashita, not to Kochiki. She's like, and Kochiki.
Kochiki would have arrived by having like multiple of his people carrying him in that very
a palanquin.
That palanquin that he originally bought in like episode
that
like,
shitty ass like driftwood palanquin.
Yes, he gets carried in by them. Well, not into the building, but to the building. And then he has one of them kneel down in front so he can use their back as a step stool, a stair down to the ground.
And you hear them, ow.
Somehow Nagashita's already upstairs and comes down the stairs to the main area.
And this one's like Sushi's like, oh, is it? Oh!
Hello.
Oh, hi. And she'll like do a gentle bow to you, Kochiki, and then she'll see Nagashita and be like, Nagashita!
Oh, ow.
Fucking hug you.
Look who's all together again.
Always awkward among exes.
I get the two of you and bow.
Wow.
Oh my god, does Sasha hear him say that?
Yeah,
yeah.
says it pretty loud.
What did you say pretty loud? I'm sorry. I'm still recovering.
Oh, Kochiki just saw Uzumi give him like a polite bow and then go and like
hug Nagashita.
And he was just like, oh yes, always awkward among exes.
You're going to, yeah, and Sasha here is like directly behind you and goes, "You're going to be an X soon if you don't watch your mouth.
Oh,
You might not
My
age,
bad.
but you are not immortal."
yes, ma'am.
And then she like pinches your cheek like you're a little kid as she walks by.
I sternly look back at my assistants to make sure they're not laughing.
And they do that whole like they know when you're looking and they just immediately, but then you look away, you're like
I'm a horrible boss.
I think Masa here just straight up laughs.
I think that
It's a
Zuri
kind,
was
soft
fucking-
laugh.
Oh, Zuri shit just fucking cackles for a second.
And Saito comes out and greets all of you, and he is and now, because it's more acceptable to dress like this, he is as he is in his picture. He's in a more foreign style of dress.
Oh
He's
I will-
hot.
He's hot again. I will hug Saito and ask him how he is.
He smiles and he's like, I still can't completely see out of my left eye, but it's getting better every day."
I'm glad.
If I just shove fire into it, that could help.
Oh. Yeah, maybe not. Hey, what about like a healing water bubble?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I'll just say
yeah.
this is one of those, it's just gonna take time.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't fix everything.
But I want to try.
We are the 5 rings. Yes, we can.
And also, I'm Amy, and I'm real good at that. No, I'm just kidding. Real good at trying real hard.
I'm real good at fixing everything. I was like, uh-huh.
No, I'm real good at trying to fix things, not real good at actually fixing things. I can't.
Oh, kids, you tried your best. You failed miserably. The lesson is never try.
Never try.
Oh, kitty.
Oh man.
But yeah, and you guys are all getting caught up. You're having all your hugs and your handshakes and bows and everything. And that's when the fucking Shogun just walks in with no announcement or anything. He just walks in.
Oh,
Sure.
fuck! Damn it! Shit!
Yeah, and immediately Saito and Tsuchi are like bowing as deep as they can.
Yeah, my forehead is touching the ground. I'm literally brown nosing with all the dirt.
I give him a respectful
I'll give
bow.
him a respectful bow.
I will respectfully bow, but then I will also go up and hug him because honestly, like we're family now. So as long as it's not fucking super weird and he's not like, oh god, because I assume
there
you
is that,
know
like,
that Azumi's kind of a hugger.
Yeah,
Right?
he knows you're gonna do that, but it's still one of those like, this
sorry.
when you hug someone who doesn't do
Doesn't
touch.
hug. Yeah, I know. And I'm just like, get used to
my
it. Just get
body.
used to it. It's gonna happen every time we see each other. I'm sorry in advance. I can't help myself. It's so nice to see you.
And he clears his eyes like, yes, should we? And looks to Suchi. She's like, oh, yes, sorry, right this way, and leads you all into the refurbished and put back together dining room, since the last time you guys saw it had blown up.
Yeah, I turned to my assistants. You know what to do. Check for explosives. Never again.
Again, they're snooping all over everything.
Remember, if you find one, you lay on top of it until we leave the room.
But, sir,
And-
shouldn't we just remove it from the room?
You lay on top of it until we get out.
And bring me a matcha.
Yes, sir. One runs off.
You were the worst boss.
Yeah, like when they get orders from him, they look scared. They're like, "Yes, sir. Don't fire me."
Kasumi is always just shocked and appalled that you are here.
I love it because my relationship with my underlings is the exact opposite of your relationship with yours.
I like love them and care about them and want them to be happy, and you just like die for me.
literally land on a grenade for you.
Don't.
They know the
Too
rules.
much curry. There's too much curry in my body. I can't laugh this quick. I'm full
Yes,
of curry.
and you are all given a very nice tea. It's not matcha. So you're not allowed
There
to
is no
pour
more
this down the
matcha.
sewer. There is no more matcha. There is no matcha in Ba Sing Se.
There's no much.
Yeah,
But,
I poured it all down the drain.
Yep. You've destroyed the entire market. Entire businesses are out of stock. Children are starving.
Look what you did.
All they
But
have
you
to do is
fucking did.
position themselves under where I'm pouring, and they would be fine. That's on them.
Yeah, but now no one can go into the sewers anymore because of the matcha puddings. They are eating 5th level adventurers at this point. They're turning into a machinous cube.
I'm watching this cube.
Entire populations have formed underneath the cities. They will rise.
Yes, the Shogun does. Now that you're all here, is like, now that you are all here, and I can trust everyone here, definitely cutting a look towards Suchi and and Saito, and a little bit towards Koshiki. It's like, there are two. It's him. It's the man. It's the myth. It's the legend. It's what's his name?
Thomas!
But
My brother, he's arrived.
I'm sure that you have all been informed of what is happening. I have opened the country up to foreigners once more, in the hopes of modernizing the empire. We have a long way to go, but I intend that by this time, at the end of the decade, we will be just as advanced as the people you see out there.
Cool.
They're doing something called the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, you learned some stuff. I'd like to know more.
He was like, I'm already in the
They
process of
mass-produce
opening.
books.
I'm already in the process of opening up new mines in order to fuel production of these factories that we would need in order to meet the production of such, as you said, mass-produced goods.
Interesting.
I am attempting to modernize the Imperial Army using an officer corps reminiscent of these nations, which leads me to the next dilemma. A restructuring, if not a removal, of the current class system.
Oh, gotcha. So we'll just eradicate the poor.
Wow. Wow.
What?
Oh.
I think
Woo!
that's what you meant, right?
Oh,
I was
gotta.
referring
How
to
close-
liquidating
close
the
is it?
samurai.
How close is Azumi to you, Koshiki? I just am curious.
I think the whole
we, like,
room
really-
turned and faced him.
Yeah, the whole room was just like, excuse me, bitch?
He said, what? We have to get rid of the class system.
Not the
Anyway,
classes, the
Also,
system.
as we're talking about trying mass industrialization, I want everyone to know that the first book we will be printing is my autobiography, and it will be doing numbers.
As Shogun, as Shogun, I'm vetoing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is
yes.
possible to follow the way of the samurai without being samurai. Doing away with them as a structured class is understandable.
It is why I am already teaching the tenets of Bushido to members of the Imperial Army. In particular, that they are to be loyal to the Imperial Army, loyal to their officers, loyal to their shogun.
Of course.
Obviously.
I have no doubt that the
So-
clans will not be happy that I am attempting to remove the very concept of daimyo and land-owning samurai.
That was going to be my question.
I actually
Like,
request that I get to tell the Crane clan personally of this.
You will be able to tell the Sun Clan if you desire,
The Sun clan, yes.
but then looks
Holy
back. We're
shit.
saying, Izumi,
Are you not concerned of an uprising?
I am.
People are not going to be happy.
People were not happy when I came to power in the first place. People were not happy when I eliminated the Grass Clan from the Empire's calculus.
I loved it all, for the record.
And yet you worked alongside the last remnant of it, without my knowledge.
To be fair, I didn't have knowledge of it either until like the bitter end, okay? I never agreed with that person, all right? You could ask around. We were not um
There are
I
ways
mean,
to avoid this unrest. Masahira, your nephew, how are they doing?
He's doing well. He writes to me often from our home in the Butterfly Clan.
Is it possible that Ima could exert some sort of influence upon his family and the family onto the clan as a whole?
It is. He is definitely on the. He's never been one for the samurai caste or class. Whew. uh, he's been kind to everyone he knows. I think he could hold some sway with the Butterfly Clan.
And you and your brother could exert influence across the Sun and the Maple clan. If I was able to hold a position of authority over these three clans, they are, save for the Butterfly clan, two of the largest militaries outside of the Imperial Army. The Lily clan, I do not believe, will be overly beholden to this, knowing that they can still carry out their duties whether or not they are called samurai. Is that not right, Nagashita?
Exactly right. You know where their loyalties lie, and a simple title is no reason to give that up.
I forgot
The Tiger
Nagashima.
clan have already spent so long beyond the Empire's borders that they will doubtless welcome this foreign influence. The Deer clan rarely, if ever, leave their forests. The Storm clan I worry of, if not for the fact that they border the Imperial capital.
mm,
This is a dangerous time that we are walking into, but I believe that they will be made to see reason.
if
By
it
any means.
is if it is properly introduced, and also properly, I don't want to say, I maybe propagated might be the word, like propaganda. I don't know if I'm using that right. But if the propaganda is correct, or at least favorable, um, you could feasibly sway anyone.
It is
So,
not only that I fear us lagging behind our neighbors across the seas. A darkness is coming to this world, one that we are ill prepared for. Demons will rise across the globe, not only here but elsewhere.
I did want to ask about that.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah,
What?
no, you're totally out of your
Yeah,
depth.
looks to Kochiki.
Kochi's like, ruh Raggy.
I suppose I should bring all of you up to speed on this. This world is at the center between the gods of the heavens and the demons of the hells. And it has always been a battleground between the two of them. And soon the demons will march, and we must all be ready, not just in the Empire, but in the lands beyond it as well.
What do you suggest we do?
Fuck.
We need to make sure that we are on par with our foreign I would not call them friends, but we must make them our allies. We cannot repeat the mistakes of the old empire and believe that we can conquer the world from our island.
Right. And you think that guns, well, I guess to revolutionize, to evolve, makes sense. Do you think that's going to be enough? Like, truly?
Do you think it's gonna be enough?
Is it gonna be
He strikes you down.
It's gonna be a
dead?
long, long time.
Thank
Do
you
I
so
believe it will be enough? No. Do I believe it will put us on the right track? Yes. I don't believe that we will ever be fully prepared for what is to face us. I remind you that it took all of the Neo to strike down Oni Baba before, and it cost the lives of many.
I did want to ask about that. Would it be possible to appease her spirit so that we're not constantly fighting her?
Just give you a long look. Like, there's first this immediate reaction of being like, no, like, no, fuck her, she's
Right.
evil. But
Right.
then considering it slowly is like,
Hoochie's in
potentially, she is at least partly born of the soul of a mortal woman. Perhaps her soul could be set to ease, though I do not know if millennia of time spent in hell itself would have tore away what little of her humanity remained.
It may be
Understood.
possible to purify her, so her spirit, so that it may be pacified.
I mean, hear me out. I have this great tea ceremony. We can just sit down. It'll
You
remove
would
a
sit
lot of the
down
strife.
with the demon hag.
Only if you were with me, of course. I'm not super proficient in the way of combat. I don't
You
know if you
should
guys
learn to
Make it
be.
remember
such a
how
great
I
job.
bravely fought alongside you before, but I was not
Yeah,
necessarily the
no,
one
that was
laying out
great.
the blows.
Have you been learning to
No,
be
you did.
proficient with the gift you were given of the ring?
I mean, sure, I've studied plenty of magic and I can do little things here and there, but I don't know if like uh I'm a demon slaying machine, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Can you
sweat
put
just
one
like
in a
pouring down
box?
his face.
Can you put one in a box made of stone?
So man, yeah, I mean that's no problem. That's not even hard. Like looking back to see if the apprentices are listening in on this conversation. I could do that easy. Like that's not even fucking just water falling down my face.
Perhaps
I'm
then
assuming.
you would be willing to give a demonstration of your power for the festivities in order to show all of these foreign dignitaries the strength of the Empire and its guardians. I have
Of
made it known to all of them that this Empire is protected by those chosen by Izanagi himself.
Yes, of course. I would love to do that. I've dreamed of that moment my whole life.
By
Thank you.
extension, all of you were chosen by Izanagi. And if the king of Kami believes that you are worth this, and even if I have had my reservations,
We all look to
We
Kachiki.
all look at the yeah.
I have been made to learn, to accept this.
sweating.
You all carry the legacy of my dearest friends. Do not forget that. We all look to Kochiki.
Just nervously twisting the bracelet on his wrist. Definitely.
What I need to know is no matter what occurs, that you are all with me.
Of course.
With that,
Without
I
a
can say with
question.
utmost certainty.
I will stand with you for the sake of the Empire. If we, however, if you deem it necessary to annihilate another clan, I fear I will not be able to aid you in that matter. That'll be entirely
Agreed.
on you.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd
and
be
this Shogun is
painful.
where I'm a little different than my buddies, you know. We gotta take out a couple class, you know.
It's a little different for me.
And does look to Nagashita as two of them have said, no, I won't help you in the event of a civil war. One has said, yes, I will.
It's
I
a,
think it's
I'm not going to help,
easier.
but I'm not going to fight.
Then looks to
Mine-
Nagashita like,
At this point, there does not seem to be any whispers of revolution that are imminent. But if I were to find out anything, I would be right there next to you if it has to happen.
Yes, just as long as they have my good side.
we will trade 100 lives. We will trade 1,000 lives. We will trade tens of thousands if it means we can save millions. Is that not fair?
Already
It
done.
is my belief that there would be less, I don't know what the word to use. Less violent
Balance?
ways, less violent ways to achieve the same means.
I mean, balance is so important. Truly.
You cannot be
To-
loved and feared. Be feared.
We do not need to
Okay.
be feared.
I need to change my propaganda.
Oh, I am fucked.
um why could okay. I don't want to strike down clans. I think if they are a threat to the empire and we all agree equally that they are a threat to the empire and we all agree equally to fight against them, I would go with the majority of everyone agreeing. So, I mean, I guess it's just a unanimous decision. I understand that you are the shogun, and I understand what I'm asking is a lot. It would be nice to stand together and fight together as opposed to fighting each other.
And that is the ultimatum I will
Something-
present to the clans if they so decide that the title and the prestige that they have been garnering for so long is more important than the lives of their subjects and the livelihood of the empire.
So, then I guess the question is, are you considering cutting down the entire clan in its entirety, like everybody, or just the leadership that chooses to maintain the samurai title as opposed to maintaining like peace and prosperity and working together? Like these are two different things that Azumi
Well,
is asking about.
I
We
mean,
cannot.
we'd have to send a message, am I right? There's not too many people that are
I
skilled in diplomacy.
immediately
We can't just
We
train a commoner,
cannot.
but we could kill a couple hundred, and maybe the
Looks to
people in
you
make a
charge
and is
would.
like,
I'm
I want to
sorry. I'm
make a
just.
bubble of water and I want to just put it on your face.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Will-
I will leave air holes for your nose, but you cannot speak. You are just like it's just this weird bubble and I'm just like
we cannot seek to eradicate the class system, but then hold the population under these samurai responsible for the samurai's decisions. If we want to get rid of the samurai class, then the people that once served them would then just be normal people, no longer beholden to the samurai that would fight us. Essentially,
Yeah,
we
and,
can
he,
totally
and
strike down the samurai, but there's no need to strike down the entirety of the whole clan.
That's
If it's
that's
just
what
the
I'm
samurai,
asking.
they're like, yeah, we don't wanna.
Right, that's what I'm asking too. Like, it doesn't
we will,
have to be every man, woman, and child.
if they stand against us, then they will die. What I am
But
saying
what?
is if the common folk of these lands will stand with us against their samurai masters, they will be spared. If they will not, they will die with them.
And what would help us if they received advance information that it might be better without their samurai masters. I wonder who would be very good at politically moving a populace. He looks at Kochiki.
Oh, at this point, I'll
I
take the
think-
fucking bubble off your mouth. Like,
I
you can
think
breathe. You're just being dramatic.
I'm so good at that.
that having the gaijin around is a good way to set an example as it is, seeing that people can be free and prosperous without the leadership of a samurai.
They will need
Indeed.
leadership.
They
Instead of-
have their they have their kings, they
Yeah.
have their ice queen, and we will have a shogun.
And what of the emperor?
The emperor will remain.
the bloodline to Amaterasu must remain for her to continue to smile upon us. Technically,
And-
furthermore.
And it's one of those like,
Yeah, sure.
I'm not getting rid of him, but he's not going to have any power.
That's fine. I was just curious. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care. Like,
that's
it
kind of
wasn't
how he would
bullshit.
explain it. Is yes, the bloodline, the holy bloodline will remain, and we will maintain the mandate of heaven. But the emperor need not make these decisions. Power will still lie with the imperial court and the shogunate.
Are we on the imperial court now?
You guys are pretty much part of like the inner circle of the shogunate.
Right. I mean, we're having fucking
Yeah.
snacks and shit in the fucking inn, just talking about murdering a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Fuck.
I would
Gang is
assume
cool.
our spy master here would have ensured we are
Yeah.
alone.
Well, you were
Yeah.
also the one who got that addition put onto this inn, which means
Mhm.
you've definitely had time to basically ward this place against any kind of magic to spy on it.
Mm-hmm. And a right breeze going around the walls of this room keep what we say from coming out of it.
Ooh, I love that. Oh, I just worry about senseless violence, and I feel that it would not bestow balance to us. And honestly, that's kind of my whole shtick lately because I've been a pretty unbalanced individual. I'm just now starting to feel like my vibes, and I don't want something like mass murder of a clan to throw off my vibes. Right, I don't want to harsh my vibes. Like, it gives me the ick. I'm catching the ick from this, and I don't like it.
We cannot spend too long allowing those who will inevitably never join us to catch up. We must move as swiftly as we can.
Well, let's do it sensibly. Let's do it rationally. Let's do it. Let's try a soft touch before we do a heavy hand. Could we try that?
No.
A bubble.
He does give you kind of a look at that, like, soft touch. Kind of like you're not being real nice to Kuchiki, but then goes, We will. I'm not about to start another civil war, but if one comes, I am not above putting down any rebels. We must be willing to strike ruthlessly and fast. People forget a slight against them if it is once, and if it is done quickly. If we allow these rebellions to begin and kill one, a dozen, however many, over a long period of time, the people will remember that and take it as a greater grievance than if we had struck down 1,000 in one fell move.
Okay. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I really do see it. I understand it. And as much as I hate the idea of striking down anyone, I much prefer the idea of 10 versus 1,000. If I don't have the option to choose something else, that's a hard one.
I will seek to purify flames of rebellion, then snuff them. Direct the fires.
Purify!
Direct the flames of hatred towards a more common enemy than to inwards.
That is an option. That fucking common enemy shit's an option. We could like throw Kochiki out there and be like, he's the bad guy now. Fight him.
I hope you're not suggesting I run around the streets as an Oni
I'll
again.
Pop a bubble.
That's
I'll
an
pop a bubble.
What the fuck?
So it was just a suggestion. We're just spitballing here, right? Like we're brainstorming. It's no big deal. What about the Oni? That nothing ever happened with that Oni? What are you talking about?
I said, I hope you're not suggesting I run around the town as an Oni again. And smiles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no. We need to check
Hero
on
of the city. Hero of the
Masahiro.
Kochiki, hero of the city.
Oh god.
That ain't ever
love
gonna
that.
fucking happen.
He's like, oh
Kochiki
yes,
with
I
a
actually like this
sword.
idea.
On top of an Oni.
He'd be cowering in a pretend fight.
He's just sitting there crying on top of a dead Oni that he had accidentally killed by making him trip.
We should probably. I would like to check on that situation at some point. I won't say that out loud, but since we're here in town,
Yeah.
I'd like to check on that.
We'll say it is getting towards the end. Because my idea was that this discussion will finish up. Because I do want there to be unanswered questions and stuff.
I have so many questions.
That we could always come back to this world if need be. Not in this system!
Yeah. Not in the system.
Fuck
The
it!
system was okay. I mean, I don't know, like, how
PF.
bad it was for you to DM.
Yeah,
but-
Pathfinder 2, whenever. You want to know how bad it was? You know how all these NPCs have all these special rules? The rules don't have any rules. They tell me to make it up. I'm never gonna get over that.
Shit.
I'm never gonna get over that fact. Like, you even saw it too, Daniel, with your commie, where it's like blah 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 blah. What are the rules on these? Fuck it, make it up.
Fuck it.
Imagine
Fuck it.
Imagine if you looked at like a displacer beast and it has like its displacement thing, and instead of having the rules that, you know, gives everything disadvantage on attacking it until it is successfully hit by an attack, in which place it can no longer be displaced for the rest of the round. Imagine if it just said, you make it up.
Yeah, make it up.
Or
Mm.
the Banshee's
Oh, that'd be
wail,
rough.
and it said, you make it up.
That'd be rough. That'd be hard.
You know, might be a little bit better than the instant death.
Right.
Yeah, someone might make up something better than even a level 20 fighting a lich, or not a lich, fighting a banshee can be immediately dropped to 0 HP by their scream. But
Okay, so I think at this point Izumi would look at the Shogun and be like, if all other avenues are exhausted, to have a peaceful transition, truly exhausted, then and a civil war does start. My monastery will stand behind you. to the best of their abilities, but I do want them to be able to make the choice of whether they would like to do so, because while they are battle monks, they are not soldiers. And if it is not in their spirit to do so, to strike down on your behalf, I don't want to force them. That is not how we run things at my monastery.
So long as they do not serve my enemies.
Of course. That is actually a very big thing. Yeah, like we don't do that. Like, no, we're good.
They are allowed to have their choices unless those choices place them at the hands of my enemies.
Of course. Totally.
Kochiki, I have no doubt that you are in my court. Where would you
Literally,
be without me?
well, I would.
Nagushita, I can
Oh,
trust in you as well. Oh yeah, that was very much a bitch, you ain't nothing without me.
no, he shivers when he says, "What would you be without me?" He thinks about it and he's like, "Oh,
Lonely.
On a floor, dead by an ice witch. No,
Pretty
that's
much.
without us. My bad. You'd be fine. Ish.
Nagashita, would it be possible for your men to infiltrate the political courts of these kings in these foreign lands and plant the
All-
idea that they should ally themselves with us?
The seeding is already done. I just need to instruct the plants on what to do.
Good. Perhaps we will be able to lead the future of the world into peace rather than attempt to lead it through conquest.
I nod enthusiastically.
I do too. I'm excited.
Perhaps
Oh
under
my
the
God.
perhaps under the five of us, the world will want. I was thinking player characters.
I'm going to actually pretend he said that out loud.
I'm
Not
gonna
counting
reach-
Kochiki at first.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, perfect. But it's like perhaps under the
he's gonna be
five
like,
of
yeah, no, I
us.
did it, 100%."
Yeah, perhaps under the five of us, the world will be once more centered with Ameko at its center, as it should be.
Yeah. Sure.
There are no other questions, and I have your absolute loyalties.
Yes.
Indeed.
Stares at Masahira.
Well,
You
now
been real
define
quiet,
loyalty. No.
Grabs you. You've been real fucking quiet, fuck boy.
Define absolute. No. He'll
Define
just
If
nod.
I say
boy.
kill the sun, you kill the sun.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog. That's Mama Hamatarasu. She's not gonna take lightly to that.
Yeah, well, I was brought here by her dad.
I like that
Daddy.
we were able to talk about this. And like it wasn't just a blanket, yeah, we stand behind you, and that is I like that there
He's
were
pretty
stipulations put.
he's pretty much saying that. Like, we've talked about it. All of this withstanding, if any of you betray me, I'll fucking kill you. But being like, all that being said, you carry with you 4 of the 5 rings. Be worthy of the Neo that died, that you could have them.
Looks at Kochiki.
The whole group just looks at Kochiki.
And spread their legend
What?
for the glory of the Empire. And he goes to stand and says, I look forward to working alongside you all. Do not disappoint me. Steps
Uh,
outside.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't disappoint us.
I mean, honestly, yeah, this is a two-way street. Like, I know he's the shogun and stuff, but what I had very much asked for was equal footing. And he didn't really say no, but he didn't say yes. So
He's a very good politician like that.
he is.
Right,
He
Kochiki?
He said, kinda.
Kinda,
Yes,
which
if it
means
works for
no.
me, no if it works for me.
Yeah, right. Which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Is Sasha here? Still here?
She left with him. She would have nodded to all of you and stepped out.
I will hug her before she leaves. Bitches.
She's 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 kind of like her dad, where she's kind of like, then like gives you just like
Oh,
a pat on the head.
friendly.
Yes, but it's still one of those when you're a weird bird person that's not used to human contact.
Ew, humans.
Ew, you don't have feathers.
I don't.
She-
I could probably get
Ew, you're
some.
pinning my wings.
Oh shit.
Ow, ow, my wings. Psych! Bit of bird humor.
So Saito and Sushi are still here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like,
They
just be like, they've been sitting in on some shit that they're like, ooh, heavy.
Has Boba been there too?
Yes,
Just making sure.
Boba's been there playing the part of the dumb happy Sheba.
Does the Shogun know that he's
Oh,
not
he
just a dumb
definitely
happy
has to.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Nice doggy, pet. I'll kill you too. Don't think I won't, you fucking rat-coon. You're more like a rat-coon.
Haha, got her.
Yeah, I think Zumiya just kind of like looked at everyone and be like, "Well, this was a productive meeting about lots of dangerous things."
Yes.
You know that we will not speak of this to anyone.
I
It's
know.
probably for the best.
We know.
Probably for the best, or else I'll kill you.
Looking at
Reaches for
Boba.
4
You're right.
swords. Ow!
Yeah.
Does little happy jump in a no. He does that. Do you like your new toy? The
That's what I do whenever I like my new toy.
We'll need to keep closer contact than we have been. It's been a while.
I'm ready for you.
Oh right, because me and Masahiro fucking kick it.
and no one was to kick Kuchiki. Nakashida's been in the same city and still hasn't talked to him. Just has had spies watching him.
Make sure he doesn't fuck something up for him.
Yeah, basically.
My friend is the spy master.
Last
That
time
guy
I hung
right
out
there
with him,
is
he hid
spy.
behind me and let an ice witch kill me.
He was like, "Protect me! Soak some of the damage. I'm in hard cover now."
Honestly, every time that Nagashita speaks, Kochiki like jumps because they are a shadow.
They are the unheard breath.
I forgot.
I love it.
I always forget that they're
Hey.
here.
Are you guys staying at the palace? Is that where you guys live now?
Yes,
Yes.
rightfully so. Wait, you live
It's a
there,
nice place.
Nagashita? What?
I tend to keep to myself. Just me and my.
Me and my many spies.
I'm so sorry. I had so many. I could have put like a sign or two up for you as well. I'm sure you've seen all my murals. I could have built you like a statue or something.
Yeah, you guys
My
have
apprentices
seen like
love making statues inside.
you guys have
It's
been seeing
favorite.
stuff that's basically like the Kochiki version of all the stuff from Emperor's New Groove, where it's like Cusco's little fucking bean head on like a giant stud body.
It's me like hooking the Ice Queen.
I love everything about it.
Meanwhile, Masahiro, Izumi, and Nakashita are all in the corner like, "Oh, we're so scared!" And he's just like,
God.
"Yeah, I 1v1." And then I 1v1 the Ice Witch. And then I grabbed the team and put it in a headlock and, made it tap out. It was fucking badass.
And all my statues are the opposite of Michelangelo statues, where it's just like where I'm just super hung. It's actually
God.
Oh
think-
god.
I probably
it's inappropriate. They have to cover it up during daytime when families are walking about.
An entire family of birds can just stand on it.
I think there's probably a
Oh
time we
my
walk
God.
by one together. I'm just like, friend Kuchiki, I think you should work on correcting these statues. They don't depict us all quite correctly.
You're right.
Masahira, you look
Be
like a little
larger.
girl in it. You're like, oh!
Do you
It
have a
says the
mural of you
Shiro of the
rejecting
village.
Izumi?
I just reach out.
No.
Yes,
I'll
I have
touch
a
that
I have a
statue.
mural of you crying a puddle of tears as I'm just looking over at you like
You do that
sorry.
Chad walk away.
I'll
It
I'll
is
reach
what
up.
it is.
Are all of the statues of you? You're doing the fucking Virgin versus Chad thing, and you've got "ouch" written on your crotch.
I'll touch one of the statues, and it just like lights up and just turns to ash.
You're causing a scene again. And if people are like, oh!
It's just about like the fire is very small. It just kind of burns and then just crumbles down slowly to ash. Just purifies the statue.
What if your shit turns into ash? What could I do? Could I do anything with water?
You
You
just
could
punch it.
corrode it
Like
over a
reform
very
it?
long period of time.
Pick it up and throw it in the ocean.
You
As a
just like
cheat.
all of these-
Volcano
Yeah,
punch.
you wrote it. That's what I meant. Yeah, not
Oh
Pick
my
it-
god! Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I
you
heard
could
the
fucking
ocean.
no. You could do your combo. You could fucking fly up and do the star punch, then come down volcano punching it
Oh, it's so good.
Hadouken!
right,
It's like
right in the
lava.
dick.
Oh,
Since we are like near the harbor, I guess, where he's been dumping matcha, are there actually plastic cups in the harbor?
No,
Okay,
You guys-
'cause I'm
you guys
like,
don't have
oh
plastic
my
yet.
you guys know how if you go to harbors, like the wooden stuff has like the moss built up on it. Like, it's
Matcha slime.
moss.
You guys do see matcha slime, and some of it starts to like.
Crawl away.
And this is something for that I think only Daniel get from this. You hear it talking amongst itself, going, "Oh no, it's a bit too spicy. I don't know about that." It's this is the origin stories for the Brooklyn Slimes from Realms of Refuge, the
I
ones
love
that
it.
almost fucking murdered you guys because for no other reason than they were in a small hallway, and slimes in 5e have the thing where even if they miss, they push you 5 feet away.
Which is crazy.
So they each got separated by all of the slimes. But then we're like, "Oh, we're gonna eat you." Until the druid cast Moonbeam, and they went, and I quote, "Oh no, this fool's a bit too spicy. I'm out." And then they tried to run away, and these people chased them down and murdered them as they tried to flee back to the walls they slimed out of.
The Brooklyn Slime sounds like a D&D baseball team.
Oh, it does.
The Brooklyn Slimes versus the New York Puddings.
Alright.
And while we're at the harbor, or while we're like, if we're walking around or anything, and she sees all of this fucking matcha everywhere, she's gonna look at Nagashita. Because she just does not even think Kochiki has the balls to do this shit, right? And just be like, what is going on with the water?
As you say that. More machi, please.
I'll point a thumb at Kochiki right after he says that. Watch him.
I take one drink and go, "Ah, that was delicious."
Dump.
Oh. Oh my god. So what would I do about this?
Amy,
I'm gonna take the cup
Make it
and
the
throw it
perfect
back at
way.
him.
No. Make it the perfect thing to end this session on. Make it the perfect thing to end the epilogue on. What would Izumi do to Kochiki as the
delicious.
perfect thing to end this on?
You just see in slow
When-
motion as he throws the cup behind.
Yank
I
all the
blasted
matcha out of
everybody.
his stomach.
No, she would probably get this matcha slime water, bring it up over her head, pick him up in a wave of it, and then just push him out to sea.
And
To
then
be
all of these
fair, maybe you can
foreigners
have
are
all
like,
the matcha
oh,
you want.
oh, oh. And then some of them are like, as Kochiki is like being thrown off into the ocean by matcha.
It's a
He's
very
like
stained
riding a
kimono.
wave of matcha. Going straight out.
Kimono's now matcha colored.
Matcha color. He'll be fine. He'll fucking.
Some people wear brown pants for a reason. He wears green kimonos.
For a
Is
reason.
it?
So yeah. This is how the Immortal War ends, as we see the sun setting with the summer festival's fireworks going off. And in the distance we hear Kochiki screaming impotently in fear as he is dragged off towards the opposite end of the harbor by a wave of matcha tea.
Team
The
Kochiki's
sun's-
blasting off again.
And that is where we're going to stop for now. Thank you all for this campaign. Thank you all for being here. And we're going to get one last sign off from the man, the myth, the legend, the matcha fiend himself, Kochiki!
What up? It's your boy, Young Cheeky. I became exactly what you thought I would become. Garbage. And you know what? I started as I ended. Garbage. Thrown into the sea, covered in my own filth. It's honestly a fitting end for a man like Kochiki. You saw me here every other Friday doing horrible things and letting you know more and more reasons why you should hate this man. You may have even witnessed me every Wednesday being an absolute douche canoe in a lovable way. And by golly, I've really had a wonderful time. And like I genuinely, I didn't know anybody here before I started doing all this, and I'm really happy to have met all of you. And I'm super sad that I have to leave. But it's kind of a bittersweet thing because it is a good thing for me. It's going to open a lot of opportunities, but I pray that I will get to come back and do some more campaigns and one shots in the future.
Shoot
And,
down some UFOs and Martians for us.
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
But I love you guys, and it's been mad real. And unfortunately, I have to dip out. But peace.
Slap Thomas on the ass
Talk
for
to
me.
you
Bye
guys later.
bye.
Bye.
You give him a long mouth-to-mouth kiss for Daniel.
I
Yes.
will.
Wait.
I will do a long
wait.
butt to mouth kiss. Yep.
Good luck in everything. Very excited
Thank
for
you.
you.
No, and I'll
we'll see you
probably
soon.
hop in a chat soon and talk to you guys again later.
Do it.
But to
Yeah.
the
Fucking
viewers,
do it.
I'll see ya in a long while, but eventually.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time, Space Cowboy.
It's funny. All right, let's move it along to the other person who had to deal with Kochiki's bullshit the most in this session, Nagshita, who didn't even know was also living in the palace.
Funny. That's so fucking funny.
He didn't want him to know he was living in a palace. Yep, I'm the Computer King, supervillain of streaming, and playing Nagashita was so much fun. Being sneaky, and hell, even when I had to cover everybody's ass by being extremely diplomatic. When they were telling truths that would get us killed or tortured or both.
That's how
It
I
was
roll.
still fun. And now I'm an everlasting lord. Is that like an everlasting gobstopper?
I don't know. You'd have to ask his suitors.
I mean, is someone gonna suck on you forever?
Okay, I didn't mean to go there, but apparently I went
Well,
there.
Daniel made it worse.
Yep.
You guys.
I didn't
I
mean.
was the one, and it
I
turns
didn't
out
do
it's
that.
you guys.
I didn't do it.
I know.
Oh, shit, it was all
I'm
Daniel.
usually
Daniel.
I'm usually the one too. I'm the dirty old man of the group, but I was trying to be diplomatic this time.
That's so
And
funny.
wouldn't you know it, Mazahira couldn't do anything but tell the truth.
Yeah, that's the
ruined it.
problem. Now, when it comes back, I'll be in Yakshas as John Zulu, who drives a big monkey mech and might have a little Diddy Kong mech at that point. We'll see. And
We
on
will talk about that when it gets closer.
awesome. On Saturdays, I'm in Lands of Ibaria playing Selenicus Shade Tree, who now understands why Archibald keeps running into the fight and nearly getting himself killed. Sometimes you gotta do it. Unfortunately, he didn't even get hit. His Eidolon got hit and he went down.
God, it was that hard. Jeez.
Yeah, well, that was
heard-
one hit, and I was already hurt from that nosebleed the night before. But it's gonna be fun, and eventually someone's gonna read the notes I leave and go, "Hey, why is he saying that shit about me?"
What a dick.
Okay, that's all I got, GM.
All right, we're going to move this right along to the one we thought was the horny one, Izumi.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna say Daniel.
No,
Hello.
Daniel proved they are.
That's true. So hello, I'm Amy Kedden. Today I played Izumi in a campaign where I didn't sleep with anybody. I want everyone to note this. This existed. This happened. Okay.
Not for
So
lack
my
of
record is
trying.
broken. Right, no, for sure. But my record is officially broken. Like the streak is done. Sort of. I still tried. But whatever. Let's see here. Every other Monday, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, I am over at Distal's place doing Emberwind, which is loads of fun. And there's some stuff happening there. It's incredible. There was a bear. I was the bear. And then on Wednesdays, I'm in Over the Horizon as Lotus Moongarden, my most favorite character of all time. I love her. She is a fuckboy. So please tune in for that as she tries to get her favorite person, Sanel, into a polycule because it's funny, not for any other reason. Sanel is brilliant. Okay, that's me. That's me.
All right, and that leaves the one who simps for the sun, Masahira. Why'd you have to go and do that? Why? We were almost
oh my
done. We were almost done.
It's your boy, Sunny Simp. Pie. Yeah, you come here to play Masahira, the now abbot of the monastery that serves Amaterasu. And I like the Immortal. If we get to come back in Pathfinder 2, that'd be really cool. Although I feel like it'd be weird coming back as these characters since we're immortal now, but but we can make it work. You can also catch me tomorrow in Lands of Iboria. Well, I'll have to wake up for that. As Archibald Harrowfield, the old foxy old man who drinks and apparently sits in the in the wagon while everyone else dies. You can also catch me on Wednesdays as Gideon Sudborn, the strength-based ranger who uses a glaive and has a wavy-dovey relationship where it's his fiance, no one else.
Gag.
And
It's
that
gross.
wraps back
It's
around to
great.
here, where you can catch me on Yaxas when it returns as Sin and Set as we take over the world. I mean, what? With Greasy, of course. And that's me.
I rage.
And wait, I forgot a thing. I'm gonna be in Yakshas. I'm very
Yes,
excited.
you
Yeah.
are.
I'm very anxious. I'm very fucking excited about it.
You're gonna regret it
let
once
us
the
know.
war crimes start happening.
Honestly, maybe. How much have I told you about my character, Rowan?
Enough.
Anything?
And Daniel has told me the rest because Daniel can't keep his mouth
Okay.
shut.
No, that's good. No, I'm glad because sometimes I forget to like tell the whole story, and you're the one I need to tell the whole story to. But I'm gonna play a girl named Minerva. It's no big deal. It's just Minerva. And she's gonna
Min
drive a
and
tank
Max.
named Max. Min and Max, bitches! She's so little, he's so big. And that's it. That's all I wanted to. I'm very excited.
And that brings it back to me. Hi-ho, friendolas. My name is Rowan, otherwise known as Night Me here today running this epilogue, this final stream, this big finale for the Immortal War, where we got to see Kochiki get embarrassed publicly one last time. For a couple weeks, there won't be anything on Fridays, but then we will be back with season 3 of Yakshas, where there will be even more war crimes, even more child soldiers, even more turning the Geneva Convention into a checklist. It's just gonna get a little wacky. Come for the mustard gas, stay for the MRIVs.
Okay, I think I might have changed my mind.
Well, you want to know why Indiana's such a bitch? Child soldier.
Oh my god, for real? I'm going to change her.
Please do.
Slap her a bit
I'm gonna
first.
try. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be a Dami mommy. It's cool. It's fine. I got this.
You can also catch me here on Saturdays where I'm in Lands of Hila, where I play Telman Balani, the sorcerer monk who went, boy, I should have picked 2 classes with the same key stat because I'm gonna die. Also known as I fight as a monk until I have decided that I don't like Brian killing me, and then I start fighting as a sorcerer until I'm out of spell slots. You can also find me here on Wednesdays, where I am in Over the Horizon, where I play Sanel, the Yuan-Ti artificer who is pretending to be mad at Flanagan for doing something dumb. Is just more like, no, my friend that I like to beat up on because I don't know how emotions work. And it's also one of the people in the party who's going to eventually have a what's it called, General Hospital moment where they slap Gideon and be like, you've been cheating on us with this hussy. Oh. And that is it for me, and that's it for us here. So if we could get out of here on an R.I.P. Kochiki. Not here to defend himself.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Kochiki.
Kochiki.